Good afternoon and welcome to Basehor Linwood High School, where it is the 11th annual Bobcat Classic here at Basehor Linwood High School. Ryan Ragland with Doug Karstens, also being joined by Eric Johnson and Travis Fiffin, as we will bring you the championship round of the Bobcat Classic. Just a little bit ago got done with the third and fifth round matches. Real quick, take a look at the team standings. Take a look at the top 10. Blue Springs is leading with 202.5 points. Collinsville, Oklahoma, 183 points. Andale out of the Wichita area, 149.5. Oak Park out of Missouri, 145. Mountain Range out of Colorado sets in fifth at 138.5. St. Thomas Aquinas, 119.5. Lansing with 101, setting in seventh. Junction City follows with 95.5 points. Platte County sets in ninth, 94.5. Goddard out of the Wichita area, just a little bit west, has 90 points. Once again, being joined by Doug Karstens, Eric Johnson, and Travis Piffin. And guys, this has been again one of the premier stops on the wrestling, the wrestling circuit. With you have over 30 teams, 6 states being represented. And as we talked about as we were broadcasting with the third and fifth place matches, that one of the most prestigious titles that a wrestler can have in his weight class.
And the good thing is that not only has this tournament got quality competition, but when you look at the realm, we've got 5 states represented in the tournament. We've got Blue Springs, who's not only a state powerhouse in Missouri, but they're also ranked on the national level, as well as Oak Park's typically ranked on the national level as well. Collinsville, Oklahoma, very young team, very strong team. Not only the kids that they got now, but they've got a lot of kids coming up, and they're going to be a strong force for a long time coming.
And even within Kansas, we have Class 4A number 1 team is Andale. They're sitting in third place right now. And we've also got St. Thomas Aquinas is a top 5A team, and so some real good representation here from the state of Kansas as well.
One thing about Andale, they actually have, I believe it's either Andale or Andover Central, actually is the highest enrollment 4A school because they had a tie with another school that's on the low side of 5A, and like for the previous year or something like that. So Andale stays in the 4E, but they could actually be 5A and set themselves up in another class. But still, kind of something we talked about is that, you get more of the individualistic side of wrestling, regardless if you're 4, 5, or 6A or 3A. You can still have a lot of the situations where, you can have a 3A school individual come up and be dominant over a 6A.
It is true. It's nice to have, normally a lot of the 3-2-1A schools in Kansas are out west, and just because of the population out there. But we do have Thomas More Prep out of Hayes, a 3-2-1A school here, with their three-time state champion Dylan Shoemaker at 126 pounds that had already wrestled today. But he's a top-ranked wrestler, and it was nice to see him come out on this part of Kansas and compete with a lot of the large class schools.
Absolutely, and the thing is that when you talk about even those schools out in western Kansas, a lot of what they have out there is they've got a lot of tradition. Not only did they wrestle, but their dads wrestled, their grandparents wrestled. If even something that we can kind of point to is Collinsville, who's currently in second place. Their head coach is actually from Salina, Kansas. Weston Harding was a 3-time state champ, one-time runner-up.
I was wondering about that Harding name because I grew up, born and raised in Salina, so I was wondering about that, but I didn't ask.
Absolutely. Wes Harding is the coach from Collinsville, Oklahoma, has one of the premier kids programs in the nation, and now one of the better high schools in the nation. And, Wes Harding actually is a Kansas product. Won 3 state titles, freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then in his senior year took second, kind of on a controversial call way back in the 80s, but then Wes came back and wrestled at Fort Hays State, was a couple-time All-American, coached in Kansas at a couple schools, and then moved down to Collinsville and started a great program down there.
Want to thank everyone joining us here in 810 Varsity Sports as we're at the 11th annual Bobcat Classic here at Baser Linwood. Ryan Ragland with Eric Johnson, Travis Piffin, and Doug Carsons. Want to say huge thanks to all the sponsors here on 810 Varsity Sports. Christian Brothers Roofing for a complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection. Give them a call at 816-453-ROOF or check them out at 453roof.com. A&R CarStar, you can give them a call at 816-741-6966. Basque Tanning, right across the street from Sonic Drive-In on 40 Highway. Give them a call at 724-2288. Citizens National Bank, member FDIC with 24-hour ATMs. They are family-owned, independent financial services organized with a strong commitment to the communities which they serve. Danny Zeck Ford in the Leavenworth area. Give them a call at 800-394-1650, or you can shop their entire inventory online 24/7 at dzford.com. Lisa Reese, whether you're buying or selling a home, Lisa Reese with Caldwell Banker Realty and Sons brings professional and honesty, integrity, loyalty, and hard work to you. Give her a call at 913-240-6004. Corrections Corporations of America is a proud sponsor of Lansing Lions webcast. CCA is America's leader in the partnership corrections operating over 60 facilities nearing half of all states. Leavenworth Times, get your hometown and Leavenworth County news with the Leavenworth Times. Call for a subscription or visit the leavenworthtimes.com. Young Science Company, you can give them a call at 913-651-5432. Agency West, whether it's business or personal insurance or life insurance policies, Agency West is prepared to work with you through the process to meet your needs. Give them a call at 913-661-0466. And when you need these sponsors' services, make sure you give them a call and tell them thanks, and make sure they are the first ones that you think of. And make sure you tell them thanks for sponsoring the broadcast here on 810 Varsity Sports. As we have a presentation down, I guess that would be center mat.
This is an award presented to Troy Hodges' wife. Troy Hodges was a coach at Harmon High School, pretty much an ambassador to this tournament, helped out for multiple years with this tournament, with the seeding, and lost his battle with the leukemia earlier this year. And talking about the scholarship fund for Troy.
Let's go ahead and carry this real quick.
The three words in that slogan are embrace, empower, and excel. That's what Troy believed in. That every kid, no matter how much money he had or where he come from or what his home situation like, ought to have an opportunity to be a great success. That's what he was all about. That's why he did everything he did. And that's why he coached tooth and tongue against all of us. And we had a great time. I'm going to miss it the rest of my life. Kathy, thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Want to catch a little bit of that of the presentation of the plaque, and to his wife and daughter, as you just heard, as we're getting ready for the announcements of the finalists. As we talked about, over 30 teams. We talked to Keeler, the athletic director here at Baser Linwood. Over 30 teams on the waiting list. There's a pretty big crowd getting into this, and Doug, me and you've done some broadcasts with Gardner Edgerton and their wrestling broadcast, and you know, we've seen some tough teams. We saw a couple Polk teams out of Iowa, and to be the best, you have to beat the best is one thing that we learned from it. And this is one of the tournaments where, you know, you take a look at Blue Springs, you take a look at Collinsville and Andale and Oak Park, your top four. There's a reason why these guys are predominant in the first in the championship round.
Yeah, you're going to invite the folks that are going to make you better. They're going to challenge you and push you at every level. Looks like we're ready to get started here.
Let's go ahead and carry the starting lineups for the announcements of the championship matches.
At 113 pounds, a sophomore from Endale High School. He's 20-1. He was second at state in 2011. Tyler Myers.
Something lost and never seen.
I'm sorry. I've been waiting on that first really dramatic mistake, and this was it. 106 pounders. When they changed it from 103, it completely lost me. A freshman from Collinsville High School, 20-1 record, a 2-time Trinity Award winner, a 5-time winner at the Tulsa Nationals. From Collinsville, Oklahoma, Davion Jeffrey. At 106 pounds, his opponent from Oak Park High School, a sophomore, 26-3. He's a state champion in 2011, Noah Teeny. And for the special, we had to say him twice. From Endale, 21 second state last year, Tyler Myers. His opponent at 113 pounds from Collinsville, Oklahoma, a freshman, 17-5, a Trinity Award winner, Christian Moody. We're 120 pounders from Oak Park High School, a junior. He's 15-0, and he's 59-0 for his career. That's a 0. Cadet national champion, a state champion as a freshman, a champion of this tournament, Brad Perkins. His opponent, a freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas, he has never lost either. He's 23-0. He was first at Leavenworth, first at Eudora, first at Johnson County, first at Shawnee Mission South. He's a freestyle cadet All-American. Something's got to give. Isaac Bulgarian. At 126 pounds. He's a junior from Baldwin High School. He's 20-2. He's 95-12 career, a 2-time Bobcat placer. He's a 2010 state champion, and he knocked out 2 state champions just to get here. Bryce Shoemaker. His opponent, a sophomore, 27-1, 74-3 for his career. He's a champion at the Dahlinger Classic. He's a Class 4A Missouri State champion. The 2011 Bobcat Classic champion. He's looking for 2, Daniel Lewis. At 132 pounds, a 3-time state champion, a 25-0 record from Lansing High School. He's won this tournament twice already. Bo Purcell. His opponent from Collinsville, Oklahoma, 21-2, 111 career record. He's an Oklahoma State runner-up in 2010. He won it all last year. His name is Dylan Helm. At 138 pounds from Blue Springs High School, he's undefeated this year. He was 3rd in state last year. At 3rd in state in this tournament, I'm sorry, he's a state champion last year. Derek LaPallier from Blue Springs. His opponent from Mountain Range, Colorado, 27-2, 2-time regional champion, a 2-time state finalist, Corey Mites. At 145 pounds, from Pittsburgh, a senior, 23-1, 3rd at state as a freshman, a state qualifier as a sophomore, but he won the state in 2011. From Pittsburgh High School, Aaron Sebo. His opponent, he's also a state champion. He was 3rd as a sophomore. He won it last year, 29-1 from Blue Springs High School, Craig Haggerty. At 152 pounds from Collinsville, Oklahoma, he's 23-5. He's just a junior, Zach Haddockmeyer. His opponent from Clay Center High School won his 100th match in this very tournament. He was 5th in state in 2011. He's 21-2 right now. Rusty Yellow. At 160 pounds from Blue Springs High School, 24-1 record this year. He's a USA Folk Style National Champion. He's a 3-time Illinois Kids State Champion from Blue Springs High School, Michael Pixley. His opponent from Glendale High School. He's won 4 tournaments already this year. He's 20-0. He's a state placer as a freshman. He was second in state in 2011. Colton Glendale. At 170 pounds from Shawnee Mission East, 19-1, 2-time Johnson County Classic champion, a Bobcat Classic champion in 2011, a runner-up in state last year, Blaine Hill. His opponent from Endale, 22-1, first at Clay Center, Bratton Mays. He was 3rd in the state in 2010. He was in the finals and took 2nd last year, Levi L. 182 pounds, 13-0 from Lawrence Free State, first in the regionals and state runner-up in 2011, Spencer Wilson. His opponent from Blue Springs High School, 26-2 this year, a senior, Joey Hutchins. At 195 pounds from Oak Park High School, 28-0. 32-35 career. A Metro Classic champion in 2011. State qualifier as a freshman, 2nd in state as a sophomore, 3rd in state in 2011. Hachim Omare. His opponent from Lansing High School, 22-3. First at Eudora Emporium Leavenworth, Litton Vanderwerf. Litton was also 4th in the state last year. Sorry, Litton, I left that out. At 220 pounds, 21. First at Eudora this year, a 4A state qualifier in 2011, Colton Bonner. His opponent from Blue Springs High School, 17-2 this year. He's a state qualifier last year, Austin Reyes of Blue Springs. And the heavyweights from Piper High School, 19-3, Caleb King. His opponent, just a sophomore from Mountain Range, Colorado, 24-2 this year, 56-4 career, Jorge Morales Rodriguez.
And there's announcements of your starting, I'm so used to starting lineups, your announcements of the matches coming up. We are smoke-filled. We are ready to go. And guys, I'm taking a look at some of the stats as they were running down. How many state titles that we have, how many state qualifiers, how many undefeated guys that we have. This just in, a lot of these guys here are pretty good. We're going to go ahead and join in the announcement or the singing of the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose stars and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Still there, oh, signals that star-spangled banner wave, for the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
And a beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and we are set, ready to go. I guess the key to being in the championship match is you better be pretty good, because you take a look up and down. We've got guys that are 25-0 this year, two-time Bobcat Classic champions. We've got guys that's won their 100th match here. Basically over 20 wins just so far in the year. I'm just kind of scrolling down, taking a look.
Yeah, you better be prepared to come and wrestle.
Oh yeah, this is not for the weak-minded or the weak-hearted, so to speak. So our first match in the 106 pounds is going to be Devon Jeffries out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, going up against Noah Tierney.
I'm pretty excited about this. I'm looking forward to seeing some really good wrestling from Jeffries, and hopefully we get to see an extended period of wrestling.
And Noah Tierney took second at this tournament last year, losing to Daniel Lewis, who's in the finals at 126. Davian Jeffries coming in as a freshman. Noah Tierney's a sophomore, state champion last year. Jeffries and Tierney, this would be the second time that they met up. They met up a couple weeks ago in the Toshiba Classic, with Jeffries coming over with the win there. Jeffries is a very tough freshman, coming in as a two-time Trinity winner, which for those of you guys that don't know, that's kind of winning the big three in the kids tournament circuit with Tulsa Nationals, the Reno Worlds, and the Tulsa Kickoff. He's won Tulsa Nationals, which is the premier kids tournament, 5 times as a youth. Teeny's also won at Tulsa Nationals a couple times. So once again, these are not just some of the better kids in the state, but these are also some of the better kids in the nation.
We got to see some really good technical wrestling from both of these two young men.
Teeny, like I said, came in, was a state champion last year as a freshman, and actually holds the Missouri record for winning the most kids state titles. I believe he won his 8th or 9th title as an 8th grader. So
impressive.
Very, very tough kid.
How important is it if, you know, sometimes they say it's hard to get a kid started really early, but, you know, sometimes if kids are going to be into wrestling, you know, the wrestling sport, they need to start pretty early and stick with it.
Yeah, and the thing is not only are these kids, if you look at the programs that Oak Park has, as well as Collinsville, these guys have very tough kids programs. I mean, if you want to kind of consider it, these kids are like lifers. They've got a passion for wrestling. Their parents migrate to these towns that have wrestling because they know that the toughness that it brings. And if you look at Oak Park, they've got a strong history of wrestling. Several 3-4-time state champs from the school. I think they had a 7-year straight win streak of state titles in Missouri. They were state champions last year. Collinsville, state champions last year in Oklahoma. So not only the kids state champions, but also the teams are state champions as well.
I want to thank everyone for watching us here on 810 Varsity Sports as we're about set to get started with the 11th annual Bobcat Classic, the championship round, as we're awaiting the start of the 106-pound class. Ryan Ragland with Doug Karstens, Eric Johnson, and Travis Fippen with you. As Doug, it helps to have a couple guys that know a whole lot of kids that are wrestling.
Oh, I tell you what, we're pretty blessed having these two guys with us, because I was wondering what I'd be doing.
Yeah, and
I was going to have my hands full trying to figure out everybody who's wrestling and what they've done.
Well,
and
I'll tell you, the other thing is with the way that they're running this tournament, we have stats for the whole match for every class.
Oh, how nice.
Just information going back, and we saw in the 3rd and 5th place round that we were having return matches that, going back as far as the first round, and had one kid from St. Thomas Aquinas lost his first match getting pinned in the first period, comes off and wheels off 5 more wins and makes it up to the 3rd place match. So these are kids that have, these are kids here that have not lost yet. And it's kind of hard when you get to this point. You don't want that big mental letdown. You don't want, you've been sitting there all day and waiting for it, and you get this big build-up.
And
yeah, they had a heck of a little show here introducing these guys, these young men. So we've got the stage set. We're just ready to get wrestling here as soon as coaches are at their corners, it looks like.
And another interesting statistics with these two wrestlers is last year in freestyle, which is more of the Olympic style of wrestling. Noah Tini had taken second at Cadet Nationals. He was a Cadet National finalist, which cadets is pretty much a younger age group, more of the 8th grade to sophomore year age group. Taking second at Cadet Nationals in freestyle, where Davian Jeffries took third at 105 pounds, and Noah Tini had taken second at 98 pounds. So once again, just shows the breadth of the talent that's here, not just on a state level, but also a national level. I mean, your cadet and junior nationals are literally the toughest high school tournaments in the nation. So very admirable opponents here.
As we're getting started with the 106-pound matches, I believe that we're ready to get set. It's going to be David Jeffries from Collinsville, Oklahoma, will be in the white tights, and it's going to be Noah Tini from Overland Park, Missouri, in the gray. Noah Tini coming in at 26-3, a state champ last year. Devon Jeffries, 20-1 this year, as we are underway.
And Davian gets in on a low sweep single real quick. And once he gets in there, he's trying to climb the body to get the 2. Once he's got knee control, he gets the 2 takedown.
Hasn't quite as, what, they give that to him?
They did give him the 2. He did get the control, but Tini bumped up and has got the leg. And if he gets his head out, he probably would have got the 2, but the official goes ahead and calls that potentially dangerous. A little bit of torque on the knee there. Want to make sure that we have the safety for the wrestlers involved.
We're back at it again. Jeffries on top.
Both these kids are long 106-pounders.
Looks like we're trying to work those arms underneath, get set up. Jeffries trying to get set up what he wants.
And the thing that you'll find out with these Collinsville wrestlers, because they've got a whole lot of kids that are just real tough in the room, and they like to battle hard. I mean, they're very weathered kids. They like to bang and grind a lot. Looks like Jeffries is getting some near fall, possibly a pin.
He had to like the way he looped his leg around the arm to give it a little bit more leverage.
Yeah, and he's got 40 seconds left, plenty of time to get the pin. And literally,
he's racking up the back point.
Tini's just really having to hold on here to make sure that he doesn't get pinned. Looks like he's pulling out of it, but Jeffrey stays on there, goes ahead and picks up the 3-point near fall.
Now if Noah Tini can try to get around and get those hips around to get the reversal. 14 seconds left to go in the first period.
Got a little bit of a stalemate there.
And our head referee, Craig Ewert, looked like he called the stalemate and is ready to get him started off again. 12 seconds left in the first, with Davian Jeffries leading 5-0. Starts off with a hard spiral ride. Tini's really going to have to do some movement on bottom if he really wants to get back in this match.
I know there's things going on that we can't see, but I'd like to see Tini do a little bit more on when he's down.
I'll tell you, Jeffries picked up a couple of first period pins early on in this tournament, then beat Dakota Leach, who had placed in Kansas State a couple times in the semis, and then Tini beating Reese Coakley in the semis earlier or later last night.
Tini did start up, but Jeffries is making one heck of an effort to get that reversed.
Tini's kind of got that crab ride in there, holding on tight, but Jeffrey's a good scrambler. He's lifting that leg. He's getting Tini's hips pulled down, and if he gets that leg lifted and his arm across, that's where the officials are going to call the 2 points for the reversal. But Jeffrey could also lift that leg and back into him and end up getting a fall out of it if Tini holds on too hard.
Jeffries has been impressive. That match against Dakota Leach handed him his first loss of the year. Number 1 ranked 5A wrestler in Kansas, Dakota Leach.
coming up to the 1 minute mark here in the 106-pound class with Devon Jeffries out of Collinsville, Oklahoma in the red the white with the red trim. Noah Teeney from Oak Park, Missouri in the gray with the blue trim. As Jeffries is still leading 5-0, 50 seconds left to go in the second period.
And at this point, it looks as though Noah Teeney's just kind of riding. He's really going to have to make an effort to start trying to turn Davian. Looks like he's getting the crossbody in there, but really kind of being defensive at this moment, at this time.
I don't know that he has the luxury to do that. He's down by 5 at this point with about 20 seconds left in the second period. I know he's going to have that third period to go, but with as tough as Jeffries is, you need to take advantage and start making something happen right away.
Oh, it looks like he
Trying to
might
lift
get
him back over.
Close.
It's kind of a high-risk tilt. He didn't have locked up all the way. Possibly could have got him points, but it looks like Jeffries, 3 seconds left, may not secure the takedown or the reversal.
He got it. Jeffries got 2 for a reversal.
At the buzzer.
That leads it 7-0. If Jeffries scores over 8 points ahead of Teeney, it would be a major decision. So, and the thing is I don't look for these Collinsville guys to just hang on to a lead. They're going to continue to keep trying to score.
They're going to try to get as many major decisions as they can.
Absolutely, because the thing is that what happens when the team race is as close as sometimes it can be, it can add an extra half point if you get that major decision.
Right now it's a 20.5 point lead for Blue Springs over Collinsville, as Blue Springs will have 6 wrestlers in the championship match, only 4 for Collinsville. So they need to take advantage or get as much as they can, being down 2 wrestlers in the championship round.
I think we had a call potentially dangerous.
As you can see, Jeffries is just relentless in his attack. He's just staying on top and continuing to try and score. Good stand-up, a little early off by Noah.
Yeah. A little premature. Nice roll.
He gave it a shot, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
A little Granby roll, but it looks as though he might get some back points, possibly. I mean, you can just kind of tell the strength that Jeffries has, but lots of flexibility by Teeney.
Oh, nice move by Teeney. Can he capitalize on it? Can he make something happen here?
Well, he's trying to get the rollover.
I mean,
He's looking for
Jeffries
more
is in
than
bad
2.
position right here. Looks like he might give up. Well, the thing is, he's not giving up any points.
No, I don't think this kid's going to stop for anything.
59 seconds left and 7-0 lead by Davian Jeffries over Noah Teeney.
It's anybody's match still. It takes his one mistake and a pin, and it's completely turned.
I think Jeffries may be still a little irked by getting that first loss of the year, and I think he's maybe taking it out on Noah Teeney a little bit.
And the
nice roll again, gave him the leg, inside the leg there.
And it looks as though Jeffries might be, nope.
Not yet, he had it for a second. He had it for 1 count.
With 30 seconds left, Teeney's really, all he can do is pretty much pin Jeffries at this point in order to win this match. And
he's in a tough situation.
Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Jeffries, 20 seconds left, still trying to score with the cradle, really wanting to get that 8-point lead so they can get that major decision. Like I said, once again, consistently trying to score.
I'd say it's just, it's done. Neither one's going to get anything now. So
trying to get him rolled back. So Davion Jeffries out of Collinsville, Oklahoma is going to defeat Noah Teeney by a final of 7-0 in the 106-pound class. As we're going to get set for the 113-pound class, it's going to be Tyler Miles out of Andale and Christian Moody out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. It's going to be a freshman over Miles, I believe is a junior.
Tyler Meese is actually a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last year, Tyler took second at the high school state tournament. Moody's a freshman, also a 2-time Triple Crown winner and 3-time Tulsa National champ, I believe, coming in as a freshman.
not bad at all.
One thing that's unique about both of these guys is they were both very big cradlers. So looking for a lot of action from cradles because both of them like them a lot. Moody picked up a win over, I believe, Eric. He's the number one ranked 4A wrestler, Zach Hensley, who's a freshman, picked up an injury default win against him in the semis, with Tyler Mice beating Seidel from Oak Park 6-3 in the semis, who's another tough wrestler from Missouri as well.
We got a lot of shots going on here, a lot of good sprawls keeping him from coming in.
Yeah, Meese is stepping up to 113 this year. He's got one loss on the year to Fargo All-American Vieira from Salina South, and it was a one-point match. It was a great match, and so he's just had a really strong year this year as a sophomore.
And Tyler's also, correct me if I'm wrong, but he also beat Zach Gensler, who was a two-time state champion from Kansas as well earlier this year.
Not this year.
Oh, not this year.
Less than a minute to go in the first period.
Arm drag there.
Christian Moody out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, in the white with the red trim. Tyler Meese out of Andale, the white with the gold stripe down the side.
Meese has got the leg, and he's
got the two.
Got the first two for a takedown.
Like I said, look for Meese to start looking for some cradles up in here.
He's working that wrist control. He's getting that arm underneath.
He's probably considered the underdog, just a little bit less of national hardware than Moody has, and but certainly a tough wrestler and has been around the block. But this would be a fantastic win for Meese.
10 seconds left. Moody trying to get that reversal. Not able to get his hips swung around. 3 seconds left on the clock.
That was almost a nice reversal there.
As you can tell, Meese was just kind of trying to hang on. He knew the time was coming up close.
Yeah, the other young man almost got away from Meese. Nice sit out. They went back both to a no advantage position, but no escape points.
1.8 seconds left in the first period, as Meese is going to have a 2-0 lead. As Meese is going to have the option, and he defers.
And I would kind of expect the same intensity out of Moody that you saw of Jeffries earlier. I mean, you got to consider these guys are all in the same room. They've got a few other finalists that are in the same room, all close to the same weight, and they all kind of have that aggressive style. So Tyler certainly can't relax at any point, because Moody's going to consistently keep trying to score.
Wow, look at that
like
move
what
by
he's doing
Moody.
right there. And as you can see, he's kind of going in for that cradle right there.
Yes, he is.
Oh boy, he avoided that.
Was that a
And
reversal
now he's
or what?
trying to hit his crossface cradle.
That was a reversal. He got 2 points for that reversal, then went straight to a Travis tried to do a near side cradle there and didn't quite work out for him. He's
Trying to
moved
hit the
on.
crossface cradle, now going a little bit more for a whoops, and
Check
Another
that
reversal.
out. That was
and Meese comes back with a reversal, keeps the arm,
Trying to roll it for the
and
pin.
he's getting some back points.
wow.
Was that another back-to-back move?
We might have a pin here.
Minute 16, that's a long time.
That's going to be a long fight for Moody.
And
That's going to be a pin at 1:07 left to go in the second period.
Wow.
And that's a big win for Tyler Mize.
Yes.
Like I said, Moody coming off of some great tournaments, placing at Toshiba as well as the Mid-American Nationals, and Meese picking up the win. So great job with Tyler Meese of Andale.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to take advantage of that arm. He had it with his head. He kept it, ran it over, turned into a pin for him.
So coming up is going to be the 120-pound weight class. It's going to be Brad Perkins out of Oak Park, Missouri, the junior, going up against the freshman Isaac Dolgren, I'm trying to make sure I pronounce his name correctly.
It's Dolgarian.
Dolgarian, Isaac Dolgarian. And this guy's 23-0 as a freshman. And as they say, if you don't know, now you know, or you're about to know.
Yeah, and the thing is Perkins, his freshman year he was a state champion, undefeated for Oak Park. Last year had a shoulder injury, kind of kept him out. So as a junior, still has not lost in high school yet. Was a cadet national champ 2 years ago. Dolgarian last year was a cadet All-American in freestyle, and 2 years ago was a double schoolboy freestyle and Greco national champion. So once again, a couple guys have got a couple national titles under their belt as well as All-American titles. Both of them undefeated in their high school careers. So tonight, somebody's not going to end up undefeated in their high school
Somebody's going to have a
career.
one in that.
Someone's going home and they're not going to be happy.
And this is one of the most highly anticipated matches of the tournament. Isaac Dolgarian's one of the most highly regarded freshmen that we've had in Kansas in a long time, and just all the hardware that Travis just mentioned, along with he won the Super 32 middle school division, which is a very tough national tournament. So this ought to be fun.
Is this a situation where Dolgarian will find out exactly where he stands as a freshman going up against a junior that's 59-0 in his career?
Yeah, and the thing is knowing Isaac, I've known Isaac for quite a while, is Isaac will go out and attack anybody. He doesn't necessarily care what their prowess is. Isaac's got the utmost confidence that he can beat anybody. And I'll tell you, no matter if he's a freshman or not, you won't hardly find a slicker wrestler on his feet than you do Isaac. He just consistently attacks and moves very well. Where Perkins, you'll find Perkins to be much more of a brawler. Will come in and really set up his setups with brawling and beating down. There's a nice little duck attempt from Dolgarian.
Watch that duck under too, because it should be in the dictionary.
Yeah, Isaac moves almost like a snake. He just very fluid movement.
Well, and we've seen, for those of you that seen the NCAA championships last year, there was a couple wrestlers that would just take that kind of like that snake approach and just stay really low and just try to, do that leg grab.
Uh-oh.
There's a big move.
Great scramble, no points yet.
No points.
Well, we're seeing some awesome wrestling right now.
That was almost a 5-point move.
I mean, if you think about it, if you keep somebody there, even though you don't necessarily have the takedown yet, you can still secure a fall. So it's something that both wrestlers kind of were put in a bad situation there. Even though there was no control set, you still can't get a fall in those situations.
Now,
they were both very fortunate.
As far as scoreless first periods, how exciting was that?
Very, very exciting.
So we start the second period with no score.
And Perkins had been wrestling the tournament with his shoulder brace on, still probably bothering him a little bit, but he's opted out to take that off in the finals. Doesn't look as though Dolgarian's taking advantage and trying to crank on that shoulder, but looks like gets out of there. Perkins might be the one to score the first points in this match. He's got to actually break contact, and they're going to go ahead and give him the 1 point. And they're going to be neutral. So 1 point Perkins over Dolgarian.
That's interesting because I wouldn't have seen that as a escape.
Once you actually get on your feet and you've broken hand contact, usually that's whenever they'll give you the escape from there.
So Perkins out of Oak Park, leading 1-0 with 1 minute to go here in the second period over Isaac Dolgarian, the freshman out of St. Thomas Aquinas.
Like I said, both of these guys, national champs in the past, All-Americans. Isaac and Perkins both won multiple youth state titles in their respective states. 28 seconds left to go. Dolgarian trying for those 2-on-1 ties.
Ten seconds left to go in the second period. Perkins still leading 1-0 over Dolgarian.
This would now be a time to take a shot or do something.
And I'll tell you, Dolgarian seems like he's really starting to put the pressure on Perkins. Perkins kind of backing up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start making some shot attempts if the referees wouldn't hit him for stalling, because Dolgarian's trying to hit those 2-on-1s and really pushing the pace of the match.
So Bulgarian will take the base position. Perkins will be on top, leading 1-0 here in the third period.
Oh, got a little bit too jumpy there. I believe this is the first time we'll have seen Bulgarian on the bottom. Perkins up top there. Another escape point, should be.
That was a
There
quick
should be a
escape.
one-on-one.
Perkins really didn't fight that too much.
Oh, boy.
No takedown. Thing is, to hit that takedown like that, you really have to. They're really focusing a lot anymore on reaction time, and really want to make sure that you actually have reaction time. But it looks like Perkins is going to go ahead and get the 2 right there on the edge of the mat.
Trying to get him rolled over.
Bulgarian probably should have tried to scoot off the mat in that bad situation, but you know what? Bulgarian's a fighter, and he wants to prove to everybody, hey, I'm not afraid to get in here and wrestle. Even if I'm in a bad position, I'm still going to wrestle.
That was something. I really thought they'd be off the mat on that.
Got a little blood on Bulgarian as we have a timeout. Want to say huge thanks to the sponsors here on A10 Varsity Sports. Basque Tanning, the weather may be cooling down a little bit, but you can still get a hot tan at Basque Tanning and keep that glow going all year long. Basque Tanning right across the street from Sonic on 40 Highway. Give them a call at 724-2288. Also, Citizens National Bank is a family-owned independent financial service organization with a strong commitment to the communities in which they serve, locations with 24-hour ATMs in Leavenworth and Lansing. Citizens is proud sponsor of both Leavenworth and Lansing webcasts this season. They are a member FDIC as we are back in action with 1:15 to go in the second period, or check that third period, with Perkins leading by a score of 3-1 as he
Now
just lets Bulgarian
We got an escape on there.
on the escape. So now it's 3-2 Perkins.
Isaac's just
He's just
relentless
going
with
after
his
him.
attack. I'll
He's
tell
going
you.
after
It's
him.
almost like he sat there and told Perkins, you're going to give me that escape, I'm going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, he's coming after him.
And I'll tell you, knowing Isaac for several years, he's just relentless with his attack style. He doesn't only want to win, he wants to dominate. He wants to tell somebody, you know what,
I
I'm
beat
here
an
to be in your
undefeated
face.
guy.
I'm the guy you want to beat. But you know what? Perkins is weather tested. You're not going to win the national title by giving up any points, and goes ahead and picks up another 2, and now is leading 5-2. And with 30 seconds left, Isaac's really going to have a difficult time picking up 3 points here in the last 30 seconds of this match to win it. Kind of staying on bottom right now, not doing a whole lot. With 20 seconds left, you've got to go all out.
Come on, Mick, get up, moves. Let's get a move on here.
And Perkins just trying to really ride on that wrist, stopping Isaac from moving, and it looks like Brad Perkins is going to go ahead and win this match against Isaac Bulgarian 5-2. And
Another
give
good
Isaac,
round of wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give Isaac his first
Well,
one. A great match.
And I'll tell you, Bulgarian, he's proved himself that he's going to be around for the next 3.5 years, and he's going to be a force to reckon with at the 120-pound bracket, as Brad Perkins is going to win by a score of 5-2 as we head to the 126-pound class with Bryce Shoemaker and Daniel Lewis. Before we hit that, I want to say another thanks to the Leavenworth Times. Get all your hometown and Leavenworth County news with the Leavenworth Times. Call for a subscription today or visit the leavenworthtimes.com website. The Leavenworth Times covers Leavenworth, Lansing, Easton, and the rest of the Leavenworth County. And the Leavenworth Times has partnered with A10 Varsity Sports, making it easier for all the fans and families of Leavenworth and Lansing High School sports to watch games online. Visit the leavenworthtimes.com today. As we're going to have a few award presentations. We're going to have the award presentations for the 106 pound, the 113, and the 120 pound, as Davion Jeffries out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, defeated Noah Tini out of Oak Park by a score of 7-0. As they are announcing, and they give Noah Tini they're giving the second place bracket to Noah Tini, and Davion Jeffries will get the first place.
That is one tough top 6 there. That's 106 is one of the tougher weights here at this tournament.
Getting ready to start out with Bryce Shoemaker and Daniel Lewis. Shoemaker coming in off a quarterfinals win over Gary Wayne Harding, one of the tougher wrestlers nationally, and then picking up a win against 3-time state champion Dylan Schumacher from Hayes in the semis. And then now he's wrestling Daniel Lewis from Blue Springs, who's a Bobcat Classic champion last year, beat Noatini in the finals at 103 pounds, and now way up to 126. Was a state champion last year as a freshman, and also a nationally ranked wrestler as well.
Yeah, he won the Kansas City Classic this year too, Lewis did. And Bryce Shoemaker from Kansas, we've got another Kansas-Missouri matchup here. Bryce was a state champ in 2010 and was injured last year before the state tournament.
Right now they're showing the 113-pound class podium as Tyler Mize out of Vandale had the pin on Christian Moody out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, and that was at the 107 mark in the second period as we get the pictures taken. Another big thanks to Young Sign Company. Is a family-owned and operated business founded in 1978 by Gene Young. Whether indoor or outdoor signage, design, or printing, Young Sign Company has been the staple of quality signage in eastern Kansas. And in fact, when 810 Varsity wanted banners printed, they were the only ones to call to make those signs. Check out Young Sign Company online at youngsigncompany.com or give them a call, 913-651-5432, as we get set for the 126-pound class with Bryce Shoemaker out of Baldwin and Daniel Lewis out of Blue Springs.
And Daniel Lewis started off with a nice little single, but defended very well by Shoemaker. Like I said, Shoemaker's had a great run to get here to the finals, but you know, this weight class, as far as if you look at full-on nationally level kids, just tough kids, another one of the toughest classes here. I hear we kind of keep saying that, but as you see kind of the depth of each class, you just say, man, there's so many great kids here. And here you've got, within this weight class, you had Bryce Shoemaker, state champion, Daniel Lewis, state champion, Gary Wayne Harding, state champion. Dylan Schumacher ended up 5th or 6th at this tournament, and he's going for his 4th state title and ends up 6th at this tournament. Just shows the depth of it.
Daniel Lewis out of Blue Springs in the white, or kind of the lighter colored tights with the dark trim. Bryce Shoemaker out of Baldwin, the darker gray tights with the B across the side.
Yeah, it's a little early already here, but if he were to win this match, Travis, I think he'd be a kind of a shoe-in for outstanding wrestler.
Yeah, and he's definitely got his work cut out for him. Daniel Lewis, like I said, one of probably the highest-ranked national wrestlers here today. I mean, Daniel Lewis only being a sophomore, but has won some great matches, state champion, like I said, last year, and had a very convincing win last year in the finals over Noatini. But you know what? I've worked with Bryce a little bit before, and Bryce is a relentless attacker. Another kid that he wants to go out there. He doesn't care about anybody's accolades. He's just going to go out there and attack and wrestle and expect a lot of things. You know, you can't relax with Bryce, but Daniel Lewis can't get much tougher than him. I mean, he's done a lot on the national level through the kids levels. He's also won a couple Tulsa national titles as a kid too. Only being a sophomore, already got 1 state title under his belt. And I think, kind of as Eric said before,
right at the buzzer, Lewis got the takedown, so he will lead after the first period 2-0, as both wrestlers were just kind of filling each other out. You could see it there midway through the first period.
And kind of like Eric said earlier, Shoemaker had 1 state as a freshman, and then his sophomore year, right before regionals, he actually had weighed in and was playing basketball and stepped on a rock, cut his foot open, had to get stitches in his foot, and didn't get to go to the state tournament.
Oh, bummer.
You know what? I'm going to state. I'm not missing it.
The bad thing is he had stitches clear through his foot. I mean, it almost cut some toes off. So
you want to be a basketball star, right?
Yeah. wrestlers need to stay off the basketball court, I guess. But like I said, Bryce
That's like
came
Percy
back.
Snowden for the Chiefs way back when. He needs to stay off the moped.
You got it.
1:25 to go in the second period. With Daniel Lewis out of Blue Springs leading Bryce Shoemaker out of Baldwin 2-0. As they will start back up in the neutral position. Bryce Shoemaker so far in his career as a junior, 95-12. Daniel Lewis as a sophomore, 74-3. The 4A Missouri State champ last year.
Bryce is currently ranked second in Class 4A behind Austin Hood from Lewisburg.
And Lewis picked up a win over Olson of Lansing in the semis last night. Got a first period pin, and Olson was a runner-up in Missouri, but then moved over to Lansing, Kansas. So we'll take him as a Kansas product now, but another very formidable opponent, and Lewis made short work of him, pinning him in the first period. And you've got Shoemaker in here on a single, but Lewis scoots up from behind, and as you step over the leg, if the guy's on his belly like that, the referees are going to go ahead and award you two, even though it doesn't look like a lot of control. If he's up on all fours, they wouldn't have gave him the 2, but because he's on his belly, they're going to go ahead and award the 2 to him, and Lewis is going to go ahead with that 4-0 lead with 11 seconds left.
Tough hole to get out of here against the guy the caliber of Lewis, down 4-0.
And I believe it's going to be Lewis's choice in the third period. And Lewis is going to go ahead and choose top in the third period. Kind of unusual, but Lewis is a very powerful rider. See, Lewis is really out there on the side trying to grind in.
He's got that left leg hooked in there, so.
Looks like he's almost trying for a cradle on the opposite side, but we'll take it on this side if it's given to him. That's where Shoemaker, if you notice, he's got that wrist, really trying to block any movement that Lewis is going to get, but if he doesn't start moving from the bottom, he's going to end up nailed with stalling. If you're on bottom, you've got to make advancements to score and not just survive. And
right now, the only thing Shoemaker's doing is just trying to get through the period.
And there we go. Lewis goes ahead and gets a stalling warning against him.
Yep.
2 stalling calls will get you a point against you. So, in a match like this, another point isn't something you want to happen.
And I can't figure out if you're down 4-0 in the final period. I don't think stalling's the plan I want to go with.
Yeah, the bad thing is Lewis is so tough on top, and he was trying for those cradles. That's where I said Shoemaker was kind of going in survival mode, so he wouldn't go ahead and get locked anything up or get turned.
So 42 seconds left to go in the third period, with Daniel Lewis leading 4-0.
Lewis is doing a great job of using his legs in addition to his. Well, I have to reset here. Somebody wasn't doing it right. If he gets that leg in there, he ties those legs up. He makes sure that his opponent doesn't have an opportunity to get his legs free and get out of there.
.20 seconds left to go in the third period. Daniel Lewis from Blue Springs leading Bryce Shoemaker from Baldwin 4-0 as we are at the 10-second mark. And it's going to be Daniel Lewis coming up with the win in the championship
here
in the 126-pound weight class. So Lewis comes up with the win.
So if you look at how we're standing so far, we've got if we went on a state bound, it would be Oklahoma winning it at 106 pounds. Kansas winning it at 113 pounds, and now Missouri picking up a pound at 120. So just the depth of the different states out there. And now we've got another Collinsville, Oklahoma kid as well as a Lansing kid. Bo Purcell from Lansing, a 3-time state champion. He's actually a 3-time Bobcat finalist, taking second as a freshman and then winning it the past 2 years. And then Dylan Helm, who took second as a freshman in Oklahoma, won it as a sophomore, and now as a junior. So once again, a couple of very tough competitors. These guys haven't met up, I don't believe, since they've been kids, but Helm came away with the win the last time that they wrestled.
Yeah, I think it was in eighth grade.
On the podium with the 120-pound weight class, as they hand out the brackets to the runner-up and the champion, it's going to be Isaac Dolgarian coming up with a second place finish, as he was fall to Brad Perkins out of Oak Park 5-2 in the 120-pound weight class. If you're going to trust a roof over your head, you need to trust a roofing company. With Christian Brothers Roofing, you get years of experience and integrity. Don't wait until there's a problem. Contact Christian Brothers Roofing for a complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection. At Christian Brothers Roofing, give them a call at 816-453-ROOF or at 453roof.com. As we get set for the 132-pound match with Bo Purcell and Daniel Helm out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. Bo Purcell's a 3-time state champion, 25-0 this year, and a 2-time Bobcat Classic champion, as he is in the white with the red stripe down the side. Dylan Helm out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, 21-2, 111 in his career. Oklahoma champ or state runner-up, and also a Bobcat Classic champion.
No score there.
Well, we got some fighting going on in the mat. Now we got a takedown awarded.
It's a takedown.
So I believe that's Purcell's, right?
That would be green, which
I don't know
would
what
be.
Purcell's is
That
the
is Purcell.
red stripe, as Purcell's gets the 2 point for the takedown.
No takedown, both up.
Oh, they're going to change it, so they're going to wipe off the 2 point.
Yeah, we've got one of the Kansas's finest officials, Carl Ozarzak, who's been here for over 40 years officiating the match. Great call. Helm had in the whizzer, which isn't really a takedown there, but lots of great scrapping.
So wipe off the 2 points. As the Lansing coach had a little discussion, he wasn't agreeing with that too much.
Kind of hard to argue with 2 refs, though.
I think it was the right call to
Like I
wipe
said,
it off.
Carl's been officiating for probably over 50 years. One of our great officials, and can really get down there and see the action of the matches.
Bo Purcell's signed to wrestle at Baker University in Baldwin.
Nice whip, 19 seconds to go in the match, and these guys are just not giving up any takedowns at all.
Fighting back and forth. We might have something here. Do we have nothing? Still got nothing.
5 seconds left to go in the first period.
Oh.
Wow.
As we're going to have a neutral stand-up, 3.8 seconds left.
Neutral. And there's the first period.
So a scoreless first period over 2 outstanding wrestlers out of Lansing and Collinsville, Oklahoma. Bo Purcell's from Lansing, Dylan Helm out of Collinsville.
And only 0-0 due to a reverse call on a takedown.
Bo is just one tough wrestler here. He's also an accomplished rodeo circuit member, so Bo's a 2-sport athlete. I think he'd be successful in anything he chooses, but he's got a chance to be the Kansas's 27th or 28th 4-time state champion this year.
Yeah, we've got him and Schumacher both going for 4 titles this year. Schumacher in 3-2-1A, taking 6th at this tournament, and then Bo Purcell in the finals here against a very formidable Dylan Helm from Collinsville, Oklahoma. I'll tell you, neither one of these guys are seceding any points to each other. Just great scrappy match, and probably some of the better scrambles we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, that first period was something.
Purcell getting a little bit high with those legs, but kind of readjusts. And trying for banana split, kind of a risky move, and if you see Helms kind of got that leg hooked in there, that arm hooked into that leg. It's kind of a high-risk move for Purcell doing this. Can kind of cause him to get a little bit high, and as he does, you can kind of see Helms getting that arm across, and he might end up picking up the 2 points.
Yeah, I think he's got it here. I think he's got to step over, and they're going to give it to him or not.
He's got to get his head out.
I think it's just a matter of time, Shirley, before he gets his head out. A lot of shifting going on. There it is. You got to give him the 2 there.
And now he's just kind of hanging on the leg. He's going to have to climb, otherwise they will call him for stalling.
Looks like this is pretty interesting to be watching here.
And they're going to go ahead and nail Helm with a stalling call for just hanging onto the leg. Once you get that takedown, you've got to climb the body and try to improve your position. Otherwise, the referees will hit you for stalling.
Yeah, that looked kind of
a little surprised they didn't call it sooner, actually.
Carl Ozarzak once again making a great call, being able to see those positions to make the correct call on those.
We head into the third period, 2-0 as they are taking a look at Dylan Helm, or Dylan Helm, excuse me. As Helm leads 2-0.
Tell you, Bo finds himself in an unfamiliar position here.
Did Helms get shaken up here somehow? Is that why he was holding on to that leg and not really following up with his takedown?
Looks like he was in those positions, got a little bit of possibly a hurt knee. Like I said, great scrambling positions in there. Third period, Helm leading 2-0. Bo Purcell chooses down. And Helm getting a leg in.
You know you're dealing with better wrestlers when they're using their legs, not just their upper body.
And gets in a tight power half, but I'll tell you, Purcell, he's used to riding bulls. I don't know if Helm will be able to.
Looks like we might have a reversal here.
Yep, he gets the 1. 2-1. Dylan Helm still leads the match. See the fatigue on these wrestlers, but they're still attacking. Wow. Nice super duck by Dylan Helm. Gets the 2 points. Now Helm leads 4-1 with less than a minute left to go in this match, and Bo Purcell is really going to have to pick up the pace and hit out a big scoring move to score at least 3 points to tie this match up.
Yeah, we've seen this a number of times. They've got to take the opportunity to get something done rapidly. Of course, it's easy for us to say, oh, nice.
Oh, and he does.
He gets a reversal. He's trying to pull him back.
He picks up he might get the pin.
He's got 25 seconds left. You can hear the Lansing fans.
He needs to sweep that head, and he'd have that pin.
Carl Ozarzak down in great positioning, looking for the pin. Right down there. Looking for the fall. And Bo Purcell's going to pick up this win. Just like I said, he had to have a big move, and you know what? You don't become a three-time state champion without having some tools in your belt. And Bo Purcell, three-time Bobcat Classic champion, four-time finalist.
That's the match of the night so far.
I'll tell you, that was a great win for Bo Purcell, and it looked almost from here like it was a pin, but I'll tell you, it was. Carlos Orzak was probably in a little bit better position than I was, but man, that was a great, great comeback for Bo Purcell. Less than 30 seconds left. Hicks out with that Peterson move and picks up 5 points and wins 6-4.
I'm not afraid to say I got goosebumps on that one.
Man,
that's pretty sweet. I'm a man, I'll admit it.
Well, that got this crowd fired up, something fierce.
So we're going to go back to the podium for the 126-pound awards of the brackets, where Daniel Lewis was victorious over Bryce Shoemaker by a 4-0 win in the 126-pound weight class. As we prepare for the 138-pound weight class.
Boy, you can feel that in the arena too.
Just a little bit.
This Kansas crowd. I mean,
okay. Well, how far is Lansing? He's going to have a pretty good back, as good as that kid is.
Well, and plus he's a celebrity in this gym, and everybody was kind of thinking the whole state felt the pressure here, and all of a sudden that happened.
That would have sent shockwaves across the state wrestling news.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I've known Bo since he was probably in 5th grade, and you know what? Bo's not only a great athlete, multi-sport. Rodeo's an sport as well, but just a great kid, nice kid. Won't find a nicer ambassador to the sport. His dad was the coach over there in the corner. Another great ambassador, great coach, helps out lots of our youth programs.
Danny Zeck Ford has been a fixture in the Leavenworth County for decades. Derek and Dustin Zeck are the 3rd generation of Zeck serving Leavenworth and the Kansas City Shoppers. At Zeck Ford and Leavenworth, they not only believe in treating every customer special, they practice it as well. The goal is to make you feel very comfortable while you're purchasing a new or pre-owned vehicle. Stop by anytime at 4501 Main Street or give them a call at 800-394-1650. And of course, you can shop their entire inventory online at 24/7 at dzford.com. We head into the 138-pound weight class with Derek LaPena, or excuse me, pronounce the name for me. I keep messing that one up.
LaPaglia.
LaPaglia out of Blue Springs, and Corey Mizak out of Mountain Range, out of Colorado.
And that's Mites from Colorado.
Mites,
I believe is how you. Mites is a 2-time runner-up. He also had 4 wins at Fargo last year. So tough Colorado wrestler here. They brought a good team over here, and LaPaglia is a state champ, and as a freshman took 2nd, and is just accomplished on the national team for Missouri too. And this ought to be a good one.
I was talking with Mites a little bit prior to the finals, asking him, "Hey, what's your biggest accomplishment?" He said, "Hey, you know what my biggest accomplishment is? This year I got out of my coach's pinky cradle. I was the only one on the team that could do it." So forget those two second places at state. He got out of his coach's pinky cradle. He's pretty proud of that.
I'm not sure if a coach of pinky cradle sounds all that threatening. I'm not going to ask what it is because evidently it's a pretty big deal.
Oh, looks like LaPaglia gets a little tilt here, getting up at least 5 points.
Ends up 7.
7-1, LaPaglia.
I think this is the first match where we're starting to see a little bit of separation in talent.
Mites picked up a win over Williams from St. Thomas Aquinas, who had been a Fargo All-American before, picked up a 5-1 win over him, where LaPaglia picked up a win over Hughes from Fort Scott with a first period pin. If you look at LaPaglia's pinned his way through this tournament and pinned everybody in the first period. So obviously a very dangerous opponent, and even in this first period match, winning 7-2 at the start, almost picking up a pin just off of a tilt.
15 seconds left for LaPaglia over Mites here in the first period of the 138-pound weight class. As Mites goes for the shoot with 3 seconds left. As it's going to be a 7-2 lead for LaPaglia.
LaPaglia defers over to Mites, and looks like although getting turned earlier, he's going to go ahead and choose down and opt to get another escape. He's got 2 so far. And LaPaglia getting in on that half, but Mites went ahead and got the escape.
Minute and a half to go in the second period. LaPaglia leading Mites 7-3.
Nice toss down right at the, I think they were out of bounds.
LaPaglia almost getting a score, although Mites was taking it out. LaPaglia almost blocked that arm to get the spin.
LaPaglia at this point is just really setting up what he wants. He's just looking for it and waiting to get it. See if Mites can make some offense here. Oh, it's given.
LaPaglia gets a nice little ankle pick there.
We got 2 points for Papaya on a takedown. Is that right?
It was. Now he's leading 9-3 with 50 seconds left to go in the second period.
He's just super tough. I remember him on the Park Hill dual team for Missouri, where they took first against our Kansas team and beat Daniel DeShazer from Wichita, and just had a real tough day. This kid is accomplished on top.
And Daniel DeShazer, a 3-time Kansas State champ, signed with the University of Oklahoma, and coming off a quality win like that, and only being a sophomore at the time, shows just the toughness that LaPaglia. And then, like I said, getting 4 first-period pins throughout this tournament, and now leading in his finals 9-3 going into the third period.
I'm interested what we're going to see right here. He's setting something up.
2 seconds left. Oh. Now LaPaglia's choice.
It looked like he was going to put on a pretty interesting move. I was waiting to see what he was going to do. Ran out of time.
Looks like LaPaglia's going to go ahead and choose neutral. He's been very successful from this position so far in this bout. Nice duck by Mites.
It was a nice effort.
Switches it off to a single, but LaPaglia looks like he's trying for a spladle and almost got it. Switches from the spladle to a single leg sweep behind, gets the 2 points, and now is trying for a cradle. Pulls it back.
Nice little spin around.
And if he gets this, he'll pin his way through this tournament.
As Mites was trying to work his way out of bounds, and LaPaglia just sat there and went, no, I don't think so.
And he gets 3 for a near fall there.
Just kept him off far enough.
14-3, winning by 11 points is Derek LaPaglia.
1:15 to go in the third period.
Well, we're going to start back neutral, give the Mikes a point.
Looks like LaPaglia is really trying to just dominate this match, possibly trying for a technical fall.
Off the 15 points?
Yes, for 15 points.
Is that more of like a personal goal kind of thing that he would be doing that?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the level of intensity that these guys want. They want to dominate. They want to show everybody that, you know, they are the best out there. They don't want to leave a doubt in anybody's mind. And
don't leave your opponent the ability or the thought in their head that they have a chance to win.
You got it.
Probably kept his feet in, got 2 points on that for a takedown.
And it's additional team points, you know, for your team.
He's winning now 16-5, 11 points with 34 seconds. The only way Mites can really get in this game is if he ends up throwing something out and gets a pin.
I tell you, LaPaya he's also a real candidate for outstanding wrestler.
Yeah,
this tournament.
you're winning by 11 points and then picking up four pins coming into it.
As
Great scramble.
Roll out of bounds with 13.5 seconds left in the third period, with LaPaya leading 16-5.
Looks like this is going to end with both wrestlers on their feet.
As LaPaya is going to come up with a huge win, a dominating win over Mites.
Picks up the major decision and racks up some more points for Blue Springs. Blue Springs already coming away with 2 champions in Daniel Lewis and now Derek LaPaya.
So back to the podium as we're going to have the presentation of the 132-pound class in the most exciting match that we've had so far, with Bo Purcell out of Lansing with a come-from-behind win over Dylan Helm out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. And you'll know when Bo Purcell gets on the podium because he will get a huge round of applause, as Lansing's probably, where'd he guess, 20 miles, 15?
Lansing, that's probably only about 6 miles up the road.
It's about 6 miles? Close enough. As Dylan Helm gets his second place bracket. And here comes Bo Purcell as he's going to get the big round of applause.
That's 3 Bobcat titles for Bo.
I want to give a shout out to Randy Westfall, the announcer for this tournament. Has been doing a great job, also involved in all of the seating. A lot of hard work over a lot of years. Randy Westfall does a great job helping with this tournament, does all the announcement and has so for several years.
So we head to the 145-pound weight class.
This is one of my favorites here. I tell you, this weight class has been real tough this tournament. Aaron Seabold from Pittsburgh, Kansas is a 2-time Bobcat champion. He's a 5A state champion last year, and so he's got another opportunity here to be another 3-time Bobcat champion.
Had a chance to watch Aaron Seabold earlier this year at the Gardner Edgerton Invitational, making the championship round, also at the Johnson County meet that they had earlier. Seabold's one of those guys, another one of those guys that you just define as relentless.
Yeah, and I believe these guys met up here last year with Haggerty getting the win. Seabold has won the Bobcat Classic twice, actually. He was the one that beat Purcell whenever they were freshmen. Pinned Purcell in the finals and then won it as a sophomore. Last year, I believe he took 5th last year, and now back into the finals again as a senior. This, once again, another tough weight class. There was at least 5 state champions in it. Both Haggerty and Seabold were both state champions last year as well.
Seabold in the wider tights with the more bold trim and the dark ear pads, as Greg Haggerty out of Blue Springs has the white ear pads, the easiest way to tell those two apart. 40 seconds left to go in the first period, no score. Seabold comes in 23-1 this year. As you heard Eric say, a defending champion last year in 5A.
It's like we got a takedown by Haggerty, right?
Yep.
Haggerty picks up the 2, and Seabold tries for a reversal, not quite there.
Seabold won the Derby Invitational in dramatic fashion, pinning Lincoln Lemon in the finals in about 30 seconds.
As they roll out of bounds.
Greg Haggerty, coached by Mike Haggerty, and Aaron Seabold, coached by Scott Reek down there in Pittsburgh, doing a great job with that Pittsburgh program down there. They've really stepped up, moved down to 4A this year, and will pretty much be a very contention for a state title this year, first year in 4A. Scott Reek's done a great job putting together a great team and having leaders like Aaron in the room that really push the pace of the practices.
That's going to be into the first period with Greg Haggerty of Blue Springs leading by a score of 2-0.
Yeah, Coach Reek, I tell you, he's one of the best coaches we have in the state of Kansas, and he coaches our junior national team each year down in Oklahoma City. They'll meet again this year, and it's nice to have coaches like Scott Reek.
Haggerty starts on the bottom, Siebold on top.
So far, it looks like I'm seeing two very evenly matched wrestlers at this point. Appears they're both going after each other, being aggressive.
.149 to go in the second period. Haggerty leading 2-0 over Aaron Siebold.
Aaron's one loss came down in Tulsa Union this year to an out-of-state kid. Had a dramatic semifinal, getting the takedown with less than 10 seconds to go in the match yesterday.
If Siebold picks up the win, we could have two three-time Bobcat Classic champions, which, if you look at it, doesn't happen very often. Never had a four-time Bobcat Classic champion, but could have two possible three-time Bobcat Classic champions tonight if Siebold's able to pick up the win.
Going to have a reversal on Haggerty.
Aaron's really going to have to pick up the pace, losing 4-0 now with a minute and a half left in the second. Haggerty goes ahead and cuts him loose and still has the 4-1 lead.
Just doesn't seem like Aaron Siebold just has it tonight, or at least on this match. Just looks like he's either a half step behind or whichever, but that's not usually a move off that reversal that you see him making.
Yeah, the thing with Siebold, you got to watch out. Sometimes he'll play wolf a little bit, and as he kind of walks back lethargic back to the center, he's very explosive. Makes you think that he's tired, but that's how he picked up a win in the semis last night with about 3 seconds left in the match. Kind of did the same lethargic, looking like he was kind of tired, and then bam, hit an explosive takedown and got the takedown against the kid from Mountain Range. So although he might look like he's a little bit out of shape, I'm well aware of how hard Scott Reek puts these kids through, and they're very gamers and in shape. Sometimes they might just play a little bit of cat and mouse with you, though.
25 seconds left to go in the second period. Haggerty leading Siebold by 4-1. As we're in the middle of the 145-pound weight class at the Baser Linwood Bobcat Classic, the 11th annual.
Keep waiting for Aaron Siebold's signature fireman's carry. He hit one down in Oklahoma City on James Green, a Nebraska recruit, and
Haggerty's really kind of pushing the pace right now. Aaron's kind of got his back towards the edge of the mat, and that's not really a position you want to be, especially if you're down 4-1. Aaron's really going to have to pick up the pace in order to score 3 points, at least just to tie this match up. Haggerty goes ahead and cuts him loose, 4-2. This kind of works in Aaron's favor because if he gets the takedown, could tie it up and possibly end up in an overtime match. But
I'm a little surprised he did that, took that tact.
If you look at it, Haggerty's kind of been pushing the pace on his feet. He's got his back towards the center where you want to be, driving Siebold out of bounds, kind of pushing him. Siebold really needs to try and push the pace and circle in. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps this up if he doesn't get nailed for stalling as well. In order to really show the officials that you're working, if you got your back towards the center and you're driving the other guy out, that shows that you're pushing the pace.
1:24 to go in the third period. as they stand up and start in the neutral position. Haggerty leading Seabolt 4-2 here in the 145-pound weight class.
There's 2 for a takedown.
And Haggerty's going to go ahead and pick up 2, 6-2 Haggerty.
Well, Seabolt's playing Wolf or
he's playing Wolf a little too long.
He better get out of that mode and start doing something.
You know, I guess never say never. You know, we saw Purcell pick up that late period Peterson
yeah, that was
pick up the win earlier.
It's not over till it's over.
Looks like Haggerty's just going to go ahead and cut him. He doesn't want to take that chance, so now Haggerty's leading 6-3.
Seeing a little more life out of Seabolt now.
Yeah, he's really trying to attack. Wants to make sure he doesn't get cautioned for being too aggressive like that.
40 seconds left. As looks like it's starting to get a little chippy.
Referee's having a little talk with them.
Seabolt came out a little bit more aggressive that last time, and
Coach decided to go out there and go, look.
I'll take.
Looky here, son.
Tell you want to have some aggressive wrestling, but you want to try and keep it as clean as possible. But you know, these guys work so hard. They don't want to lose. They want to score points. And it's a legal street fight almost out there. I mean, they want to brawl and fight to win.
And the refs did a nice job keeping everything cool and staying between them. And
in this sport, a lot of times the nice guy does finish last.
Well, I don't know that necessarily either one of these kids while they're on the mat are going to be considered nice guys.
I don't think they want to be.
I don't think so either.
This is going to be a pretty aggressive 30 seconds is my prediction.
Yeah, there's going to be some.
Like I said, Haggerty picking up a win over Blackwell, state champ in 4A last year, and now picking up it looks like he's going to pick up the win with 14 seconds left to go against Seabolt, who was a 5A state champ last year. Kind of doing really well against Kansas opponents.
Another 2 for a takedown.
Another 2 and 1.
Yep.
Looks like he's winning 8-5. Referee goes ahead and jumps in between.
Okay, we're done.
Stop any potential controversy there.
Yeah.
Greg Haggerty with a great performance. Really strong on his feet. Really pushed the pace of that match.
So
that was impressive.
Greg Haggerty defeats Aaron Seabolt by a score of 8-5. As we head back to the podium, as Derek LaPaglia out of Blue Springs defeated Corey Mize by a big score of 16-5 in the 138-pound weight class. Agency West, whether it's business or personal insurance or life insurance policies, Agency West is prepared to work with you through the process to meet your needs. Agency West is locally owned and operated independent insurance agency. Visit them at agencywest-ins.com or call them anytime at 913-661-0466. Agency West is a proud sponsor of Olathe South Athletics, and they say go Falcons. Coming up next, as we have the 152-pound weight class, it's going to be a junior, Zach Apkemeyer from Collinsville, Oklahoma, taking on Rusty Yarrow out of Clay Center. And Rusty got his 100th win at this tournament.
Who's in the orange today here?
That would be Yarrow out of Clay Center.
Yarrow's a state placer last year, and currently ranked in the top 5 in Class 4A. Apkemeyer was 4th at state last year in Oklahoma, so this ought to be a pretty even match, I think.
And Apkemeyer coming, another one of the Collinsville wrestlers. Coach Wes Harding product. And also as an assistant, Wes has got longtime wrestling legend Skip Harrington, moved from Derby, Kansas down to Collinsville, Oklahoma, helping out with that program down there. Skip's been around, wrestled in the 1952 NCAA tournament, I believe. Lots of longevity. Apkemeyer with the front headlock. Yarrow trying to pull out of there with the drag, but Apkemeyer, locks up the cradle and getting back points. He's at least got 3 near fall confirmed with a takedown. So he's at least going to leave this first period with a 5-0 lead.
Kind of in a tough position to get the pin there.
As long as he got the back points.
Oh, yeah.
He got something reductive out of it.
Should have had more than 2 out of that.
Referee's got 3 holding, so Angelo's another great referee that we have here. Gives the 3 points.
So it's going to be a 5-0 lead.
These
at the end
referees
of the
are
first
very
period.
consistent, making great calls throughout this tournament.
It's like he's going for, well, it looked like he was going to go for a near cradle there for a second.
That 152 class in 4A, Rusty Yarrow is currently ranked 2nd, although Mark Hobson was ranked number 1 and was in this bracket also. So Rusty had a great day, great tournament, and could be the number 1 ranked wrestler come Tuesday.
How much do the wrestlers actually look at the state rankings? Does it just depend on the kind of person you are? If you really want to look at that, or you just say whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm just going to take care of what I can do.
Well, I think there's all kinds. I mean, I do the state rankings for the state, and so I get calls all the time from kids and emails that love looking at them.
And they want to know why.
And even coaches say it motivates my kids.
Yeah.
And although there's plenty of kids that say don't look at it, or coaches say don't pay attention, because and in reality they are pretty much
no scoreboard watching, right?
Right. I mean, they're pretty much fun and for the fans of Kansas, and the only ranking that really matters is at the state tournament, obviously.
And if you don't hear from anyone, you're not doing your job.
That's right. That's right. It's always a good topic of conversation. So
the water cooler talk, as they say.
That's right.
You got it. It does a great job of helping promote the sport, and Eric's done a great job of not only with the individual class rankings, but doing an all-class ranking as well, which kind of ranks all the wrestlers within the state all classes, which just kind of it starts to become something that a lot of the kids gun for, is that number 1 ranking, not just in their own class, but in the entire state.
Yarrow trying to make something happen there.
18.7 seconds left with Yarrow down on Apkemeyer, 5-1 here in the second period.
Boy, that cradle was timely, wasn't it? That was the difference.
Getting that 5-point lead, you can really
be a little bit more cautious or take more risks.
You don't have to open up and risk yourself quite as much. If you see Yarrow, he's coming in with relentless attacks, but Apkemeyer can just kind of keep that off and doesn't really have to open himself up as much because he's already got that 4-point lead.
Oh boy, he's got the choice too. It's going to be tough. Tough for
he's going to take down.
He's got the choice, chooses down.
Yarrow looking pretty strong right now on top.
Would you almost be better off going ahead and taking the neutral position?
It depends on the situation.
Or that, or deferring and let them have the escape?
There's as many opinions as there is options. It comes down to that. I personally, I figure if you got the choice, you better take it. That's my opinion. And I prefer, again, it depends on the wrestler's strength, but you got a better chance of making points, in my opinion, again, if you take down. But if you're a wrestler and you're not very good at taking down, you're better at top, then you take top.
Opinions are like backsides.
Look at Yarrow right now trying for that half.
He already warned him. He warned Apkemeyer on bottom already.
Apkemeyer kind of stalling a little bit, trying to hold on to that lead, but you got to be cautious there as well, because if you start getting nailed with stalling, open yourself up a little bit, you can lose a match. Hits a nice little switch.
Almost there.
Almost
there.
There
He
goes two.
So Apkemeyer with the reversal, 7-1 lead with a minute to go in the third period, as we're in the tail end of the 152-pound weight class. An escape by Yarrow makes it 7-2.
You know, Yarrow's kind of pushing the pace now.
Now he doesn't have a choice.
Apkemeyer very explosive with the times he has scored, but
Yarrow's been real strong. I wouldn't think that Apkemeyer would take Yarrow for advantage here. And I'd be real cautious, because Yarrow looks like he's really trying to set something up and make something happen.
Angelo bringing back the wrestlers to the center with 30 seconds left to go.
Yarrow almost had the takedown and looked like he was in a good position if he could have got the leg hooked in a little bit.
Yeah, he does look like he's getting real close at times.
And Clay Center, new to this tournament this year, bringing these guys in. Already got one in the finals, and came in sitting at the 19th spot prior to this match.
Two-point takedown for Yarrow.
4 seconds left to go, not quite enough to get the match, and it looks like Apkemeyer is going to go ahead and win 7-4. 7-5.
So Zach Apkemeyer comes up with a 7-5 win over Rusty Yarrow.
Continues to be just a really exciting evening here for this. Haven't been disappointed with a single match yet.
No. In the 145-pound weight class, as we head to the stand at the podium, it's going to be Greg Haggerty getting the first place bracket, as he defeated Aaron Siebel 8-5. In one of the tougher weight class in the area. A&B CarStar collision or repair, if that's your need, they're the ones to get a hold of. A&B CarStar has locations throughout the Kansas City metro area. Check them out online for the closest location to you at carstar.com, or call the Riverside location for more information at 816-741-6966. A&B CarStar is proud to be the title sponsor of 810varsity.com and a sponsor of high school sports year-round throughout the metro area. Coming up next, in the 160-pound weight class, it's going to be Michael Pixley out of Blue Springs, 24-1 so far in the year. Coming up against Colton Dorr out of Andale, 20-0 so far this year. Second at state last year, and a four-time tournament runner-up.
And Pixley was a folk style national champion last year. USA Folk Style National Champion, and Durr, second at Kansas State, lost in the state finals to Ryan Coakley, who was a four-time state champion from St. James Academy. Also a Bobcat Classic champion, two-time Bobcat Classic champion.
Pixley has two wins over Durr. He also was third at the KC Classic this year.
Pixley snap down to side by side and gets behind for two.
.130 to go in the first period. Durr will be on, or excuse me, Pixley from Blue Springs will be on top. Durr will be on bottom from Andale.
Mat officials Craig Eworth, the head official of the Bobcat Classic, on the whistle. Pixley's got that leg locked in there. Needs to make sure he doesn't figure for that leg. And yep, they went ahead and called it. That's going to be an illegal move. And Durr's going to pick up 1 point for an illegal move. Pixley leading 2-1 with 1:14 left to go in the first period.
So a 2-1 lead for Durr over Pixley with 1 minute to go in the first period.
I believe this is our second Andale wrestler in the finals. Tyler Mize picking up a win by pin earlier against Moody. Now Colton Durr against Pixley of Blue Springs. Pixley's a sophomore. Durr is a senior.
30 seconds to go.
Durr is currently ranked second in Class 4A behind Sam Sun of Chanute.
As we heard the athletic director for Baser Linwood talking about earlier, while we were broadcasting the third and fifth place matches, over 30 teams are waiting to get in to this tournament. You're kind of hard pressed when you get into a tournament like this that you really don't want to relieve your spot. Just for the simple fact that you're in one of the premier wrestling tournaments in the area.
And the thing is that this tournament's gotten so much tougher year over year, and these guys, they want to make sure that they bring their A game and their A team in here. So most of the teams you'll find are very competitive, and those teams waiting on the waiting list aren't teams that are slouches. They're teams that are...
They know they can compete, that's why they're waiting.
Absolutely.
So Pixley's going to have a 2-1 lead at the end of the first period. As he's going to go on the bottom.
Nice scramble.
Nice little twist out for the escape.
By Pixley.
It's a good size 160 Pixley.
It's like they're trying to stare each other into a takedown right now. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to be able to stare a guy into a takedown.
Does that not work?
It doesn't work.
Is that why when I look at my dog and he just kind of looks at me like, stupid, that's not going to do anything?
Exactly.
Okay.
I've tried to stare a few kids into takedowns. It doesn't work.
That Crocodile Dundee kind of look and the hand twist, that doesn't work?
Not quite.
All right.
I would really expect Durr to start attacking, especially being down 3-1, trying to get up a takedown at least to tie this match up. Given that opportunity, you really want to try and seize it.
1 minute to go in the second period.
Plenty of time for both wrestlers.
And the thing is, that's where conditioning pays in. If you got that conditioning to bang and grind for 6 full minutes, you don't want to take this time to just sit there and stare at somebody. You want to attack. And it looks as though they're going to attack, but great defense there by Pixley.
Neither wrestler has an advantage at this point.
Durr was doing a nice job preventing.
Yeah, he had his arm up. He wasn't letting those legs get back around behind him. Keep the hips from getting behind.
Like we said earlier, though, Durr isn't afraid of tough competition. Last year in the state finals, wrestled Ryan Coakley, 5-4 match, even though Coakley
got a little bit of blood time out, I think.
Very formidable opponent. Durr wrestled in there tough with him.
Big thanks for everyone watching us here on 810 Varsity Sports. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors on 810 Varsity Sports. Christian Brothers Roofing is the people you need to call for a complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection. Give them a call at 816-435-ROOF or check them out online at 435roof.com as we have the blood situation already in hand, and we're back at action.
We're good to go.
.16 seconds left to go in the second period. Still a 3-1 lead for Michael Pixley out of Blue Springs. As that's going to be end of the second period. Pixley leading 3-1. As I think Pixley has the decision, or no, actually it's going to be Durr.
Durr goes down, really needs to.
Oh, a little bit jumpy.
Have to tell Grandpa no arguing with the camera guy. Let him do his job.
Colton Durr really needs to trying to move off bottom. Down 3-1.
He's got time to make something happen here, but he does need to start thinking about making it happen.
Pixley getting a real good spiral right in there, trying to throw in a leg. Durr keeps kind of blocking that leg out. A minute and a half left. Durr needs to get back in there and really start thinking about what he's going to do right away.
I'd like to see him do something right now on bottom here. You go straight for the sit out or switch or stand up or something. Just getting his head jammed down into the mat.
And Pixley doing a nice job just denying anything that Durr's been trying to do. I believe that's a warning for stalling.
And Durr gets a warning for stalling and down 3-1. That's the last thing that he really needs to do. He really needs to start basing up, start getting hand control, and looking to either get an escape or a reversal.
Kind of the same situation we saw earlier in a match where you're down by 3 or 4 and you get a warning stall. That's kind of a hint and a half. You need to get going.
Yeah, and the thing is, you notice these Blue Springs wrestlers, even though they're ahead, they're still continuously trying to score.
Yeah.
They're not. They're relentless in their attack, and you know, whenever you look at the team,
there is no prevent defense.
You got it.
34.2 seconds left. As Durr's going to go back to the down position. Down 3-1 over Pixley.
His best chance is right off the whistle here. He's just got to make something right off the whistle or it's not going to happen.
And then Pixley stays right on top of it.
He's got to get his head off the mat and do something. I'm watching, he doesn't even have any pressure downward on his head, and he's still got his head in the mat. Come on, bud.
And now he went ahead and gave up another point for stalling. 4-1 with 5 seconds left to go, and it looks like Pixley's going to go ahead and be our 2012 Bobcat Classic champion with a score of 4-1 over Colton Durr.
It's a nice win by Pixley. Another win for Blue Springs as they continue to stretch their lead over Collinsville. As we will head down to the podium again for the 152-pound weight class, as Zach Apkemeyer defeated Rusty Euros out of Clay Center by a score of 7-5. For another win for Collinsville. Coming up to 170-pound weight class, going to have Blaine Hill out of Shawnee Mission East and Levi Eck out of Vandale. Levi Eck coming in 22-1. Third place at state in 2010, a runner-up last year. Blaine Hill coming in 19-1, a runner-up at state last year.
I've been looking forward to this one. I tell you, Blaine Hill's Bobcat champion here last year. They're both ranked number 2 and number 3 in the all-class rankings. So there's something to settle right here. They've been looking forward to this all year.
This could get a few bragging rights then in the all-class rankings, because Shawnee Mission East is a 6A school, Andale's a 4A school, and this is probably the only time they'll get to see each other. So just kind of help bump them up in the rankings a little bit.
You bet.
Levi Eck in the wider of tights with a kind of a faded gold stripe down the side. Blaine Eck, if you can see the kind of light blue E on the left hip.
Blaine's just got that natural talent. He just started wrestling in 9th grade, and he's just got the natural talent, I tell you.
Me and Doug got a chance to see Blaine Hill at the Gardner Edgerton Invitational, and just a absolute chiseled body, but it was a situation where he's wrestling a guy from Iowa. I think it was Iowa Polk West, I think it was, and just, you know, it goes to show where the chipness and the physique sometimes doesn't always get you there, but Blaine Hill still going up against one of the best out of the Iowa area. And I think it was, like I said, I think it was Polk West, which is ranked #1 in Iowa. So, you know, he's wrestled against some of the best.
Last year, Blaine wrestled Reese Wright Conklin to two-point matches. So almost won the first match at Sunflower League. So that'll tell you what kind of caliber wrestler he is.
30 seconds left to go in the first period, still no score.
And Levi Eck almost beat Matt Reed this year. That was one of the most memorable matches this year, a few weeks ago. It's a 2-point match with Matt Reed from Wichita.
8
Neither
seconds
one of these
left.
guys are giving up a takedown even a little bit. Just still holding on for great position.
Whole match of nothing but defense on that one. A lot of offense tried, but defense succeeding.
So no score at the first period. Hill is going to have the option. He's going to choose down.
Hill appeared to be the aggressor that first period.
If I remember right, last year in the Bobcat finals, Eck had a very, very close call right at the end of the match, losing the match, and very tough.
He'll almost
the
with the
legs in,
reversal.
Such a strong upper body, he's just not going down.
No.
You got to forgive me here. This is my high school, so if I yell out for Blaine here, you know.
Should I just turn your mic down?
Yeah, why don't you?
I've been accused of that every once in a while. It's all right. It's all good.
Tell you, Eck comes from a long line of family of tough wrestlers. Uncle was a state champ. His cousins were 4-time state placers. Him and his cousin were both in the state finals last year. Ecks are just, you know, really run one of the better kids programs in Kansas with the Brawlers Kid program, and has really brought some great kids out of there.
Chicken wing arm bars. Oh, he was trying to step over that head if he would have had it.
Hill's just got a lot of power and a lot of flexibility.
He's still working at it. He's got that arm bar and chicken wing in again.
50 seconds left to go in the second period. Still no score. Down to 30 seconds, still a defensive battle. Almost had him over.
Could have been a reversal.
Hill trying to get the reversal out of it. As Zach with a nice job keeping the legs locked.
What we're seeing here is a combination between good technique, solid technique, and really raw power. Not allowing that technique to finish.
And Hill knowing that the reversal could be huge, being able to start on top of the third period.
We're going to go 2 periods with no score to this point.
Good match between Eck and Hill.
That's kind of how I thought the match would go, actually.
Not always is the score relative to the excitement of the match, because these guys have both been attacking. Just great defense, great offense, great defense, kind of going back and forth there. Eck choosing down. Eck's really good on bottom. Lots of explosion. with the way this match has gone, really going to have to make something happen to score some points here.
I think he might was trying to do maybe a Peterson there or something. Not quite sure what he was going for.
He's trying to hit it, but he's got the outside of the leg, like maybe he's trying to hit a reversal out of it. Gets in on the single. He's going to have to make something happen here. Comes up through the middle. I'll tell you, Hill's doing a great job of defending. X got him popped to his hip, and it popped right back up again. And I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron calls a stalemate.
Thought he got himself in a little trouble there, but he got out of it.
Minute and a half to go in the third period, still 0-0.
I think Blaine's looking for that cradle if he can get it. That crossface.
One minute to go in the third period. Still no score between Eck and Hill. As we're at the tail end of the 170-pound weight class. Not very often you go 3 periods without a score.
And the thing is, these guys aren't stalling. They're just...
No, this is real aggressive wrestling. They're each trying to take advantage, but
Hill's got that arm locked up there and really kind of stopping Levi from doing too much.
Almost get the rollover. Easy over there, Eric. Easy over there. I saw that.
About shot out of his chair, didn't he? Shot out of his chair and ran down the
He's going to go Superman leaping over the edge.
12 seconds left. Looks like we're going to have another overtime match.
Almost. Eck with a nice hook on the leg. And then
escape.
Still blocking it again. 3 seconds left.
That's an escape.
And Eck is going to come up with a 1-point reversal or the stand-up at the buzzer with a 1-0 win.
1-point escape with just, 2
crazy.
seconds left to go.
Wow.
Once again, the match isn't over till it's over.
Everybody keep the sharp blades away from Eric over there. That was a great match. That was just as exciting as the match earlier that we had with Bo Purcell out of Lansing.
Man, I really thought that was going to overtime, guys.
You meet both. As we head over to the podium in 170-pound weight class, or check that to 160, as Michael Pixley over Colton Durr of Avondale. As that will by a score of 4-1.
Got Spencer Wilson from Lawrence Free State, a junior, against Joey Hutchinson of Blue Springs coming up next. Wilson a couple years ago was a cadet All-American in Greco. Once again, another national prowess kid here.
Want to remind everybody to follow 810 Varsity for live brackets and watch games online at 810varsity.com, the new home for Kansas City High School sports. If you like 810 Varsity now, buckle your seats as the new design is set to launch in a few weeks. Team and league pages, full sport coverage from football to soccer to wrestling, and of course, no one brings more games live online than 810varsity.com. Over 175 broadcasts in the fall, and even more are ahead this winter, live or archived. Watch the games online at 810varsity.com.
I'll tell you here, you're going to have Hutchins, who's a very basic wrestler, very aggressive, and then you're going to have Spencer Wilson, who is very unorthodox, but very, very strong. Got a very dangerous headlock and lots of good strength.
He was a state runner-up last year, Spencer Wilson. He's been on the national team, junior national team for Kansas, and actually wrestled in the Pan American Games recently. So he's a Greco-Roman wrestler, and like Travis said, that headlock is coming sometime during this match, I predict.
and I'll tell you, having worked out with Spencer, he's He's got some of the thickest bones you could imagine. Very thick wrists. He's got his wrist taped up, but those things are thick and heavy. Very heavy hands, heavy bones, which sometimes he might look smaller than his opponents, but it's just because he's so dense. But can end up in some of the scramblingest, weirdest positions and end up scoring because he's always dangerous. Just like that right there, although it looks awkward to us, he's probably completely comfortable sitting right there.
I'll say that right leg looks like it could get hyperextended here in a second if he didn't get it back inside. As Spencer Wilson's in the
and there's still
dark
no
tights.
points left there. And Spencer comes out and gets
Wow,
the 2.
That's incredible.
Like I said, he's always in a position and can be dangerous. Tries for a banana split with the crossbody right in. Probably not going to get it with Hutchinson.
8 seconds left to go in the first period as Spencer Wilson from Free State leads Joey Hutchins 2-0.
Both these guys represented their states on their national team in freestyle and Greco this summer.
Nice low-level shot, but not quite there. Like I said, Spencer's also very, very strong. Got that front headlock in, and tell you from experience, it's tough to get out of his front headlock.
Minute and a half to go in the second period. Spencer Wilson from Lawrence Free State leading 2-0.
Referee's getting down there. Spencer's kind of got it right there on the side of the throat. Got to kind of watch it so it doesn't turn into a chokehold.
Lost in the finals to Matt Reed of Wichita Heights last year.
Looked like there was a nice attempt at an arm drag there. I saw one of those earlier from the other young man.
Looks like Spencer's getting ready trying to set up that headlock right there.
And it's left-handed.
Not quite. Hutchinson does a great little slide by and gets 2 out of it.
That really
Ties
was.
it up 2-2 with 50 seconds left to go in the second.
Looks like he's got his legs in, doing a little bit of leg riding right now. He's getting a little high though. That makes me nervous.
Once again though, Spencer's used to those crazy awkward positions and can really score from anywhere.
My shoulder's hurting just after looking at his left one being pulled back that far. Less than 30 seconds to go in the second period. Score tied at 2 between Spencer Wilson of Lawrence Free State and Joey Hutchins of Blue Springs.
15 seconds left to go.
Looks like maybe not. He's getting some back points.
I think he might get out of
Possibly
it.
a reversal here, but
Wow,
Spencer
look at
getting some
that.
back points.
Sure do.
Almost has
And he
him
gets
down.
the pin.
Oh my goodness.
No pin.
Just when you thought Spencer Wilson was in deep trouble, he gets the reversal.
No pin, but he does get 2 near
Gets-
fall, 2 reversal and
And
3 near fall.
3 near fall. So that's a 5-point swing in a matter of about 5 seconds.
And you didn't see it coming, honestly. I
No.
didn't see it coming. It didn't look like he was in position at all for that.
And looked like Brad Clark was in great position down there to see the pin and didn't call it. And, you know, that's the thing, the dexterity of these referees to get down there in the position and really be able to see it better than the fans do and really be able to get down there and see it. But Spencer Wilson did a great job getting the reversal right at the last of that. And, you know, going into the third period with an 8-2 lead,
Wow.
Hutchinson's really going to have a hard time getting that lead. Even a 5-point move isn't going to get him there. Well, Hutchinson doing a good job of trying it anyway. Gets the 2-point takedown, but no near fall out of that.
Minute and a half to go in the third period. Spencer Wilson leading 8-4 over Joey Hutchins.
His matches are always fun to watch, I tell you.
Just that move he made at the end of the second period was worth the price of admission.
I don't know what to expect anymore watching these two.
And Spencer's probably going to try and hold for basic positioning. He's pretty tough to turn, and the thing is, he's got a lot of mental toughness. He probably try and break his arm, and he doesn't care. Just kind of like he's sitting right there. He just has the flexibility to get out of stuff.
Yeah, he really seems to be able to move that arm and just make. Oh, look at that right there.
Gets another 2. Gets 2 points just off being flexible.
Is that also with Joey Hutchins just working so hard trying to get him around, and then he just takes a quick breather and Wilson just pops right in on him.
It looked like he tried to force it too hard, and Joey
almost like he tried to reset the hold or something.
Yeah.
So a 10-4 lead for Spencer Wilson out of Lawrence Free State.
And reaching underneath, trying to get the stack, try to get even more points. 15 seconds left to go. Spencer Wilson's on top and leading 10-4.
I think that's how this one's going to stay.
Great job by Spencer Wilson.
5 seconds left to go.
Picking up the fall there in the end of the second, and looks like he got a 10-4 win, and Spencer Wilson.
Great match. Good job.
Wilson with another win as he wins 10-4. As we'll head up to the podium, and one of the more surprising outcomes just to the way it happened, as Levi Ackel of Andale got an escape with about 2 or 3 seconds left over Blaine Hill out of Shawnee Mission East to take a 1-0 win in the 170-pound weight. Are you still over there, Eric? You're doing okay?
Yeah, you don't have to mention that again.
Are you recovering? I swear to God, it'll be the last time I even talk about it. Well,
Okay.
we may talk about it one more time, but that would be it real quick. That'd be about it.
All righty.
Big thanks to all the sponsors here in A10 Varsity Sports. Christian Brothers Roofing for a 16-point roof and gutter inspection. Give them a call at 816-453-ROOF or look them up online at 453roof.com. A&B CarStar. Check them out online for local information at carstar.com or give them a call at the Riverside location at 816-741-6966. And Bass Tanning, give them a call, 724-2288, right across the street from Sonic Drive-In on 40 Highway. As we head up to the 195-pound weight class, Hashem Amori out of Oak Park takes on Lytton Vanderhoof out of Lansing. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
And Omari is a 2011 Bobcat Classic champion. Won this tournament last year, and Vanderwerf right down the road, teammate of Bo Purcell in the finals himself.
Omari 28-0 so far in the year, 132-5 in his high school career. Omari in the gray tights, Vanderwerf and the dark tights from Lansing.
Omari signed with Newman University out of Wichita. He is a Fargo All-American. Kind of a contrast to styles here, really, too. Vanderwerf is one of our tallest Kansas wrestlers at close to 6'5". He's had some big wins this year, really, Vanderwerf has. He's currently ranked 3rd in Class 5A.
I'd like to also take this time to thank Joe Keeler and his staff for putting on this tournament. You do a great job year after year. And
Wallace.
whenever you think that it can't get bigger, it can't get tougher, I mean, more teams come in, and I mean, bar none, one of the toughest tournaments around.
And they just keep adding. 7 seconds left to go in the first period. No score between Vanderwerf and Amari. As looks like we may have a little bit of blood on Amari. Looks like may have some in the eye. Nope. Looked like his right eye might have been a little dotted.
Man, they're shoving a little bit up his nose. Maybe he got a bloody nose.
That just didn't sound right, did it? You weren't going to say anything, were you, Eric?
No. I spit Pepsi out of my nose on that one.
If you had Pepsi.
Yeah.
Although looking at Omari's finalist picture from last year, I don't think he's got any front teeth either.
That's a wrestler.
I tell you.
So as we start the second period with no score, Omari on the bottom, as Vanderwerf lets Omari get the escape, so Omari leads 1-0.
These guys are just kind of stalking each other. Not a lot of action, though. Not a lot of shots yet. Vanderwerf kind of coming in and out where Omari's just kind of doing the stalking. Looks like he got hit in the eye or something with the little head.
As they're going to look at the nose again.
Yeah, we got a blood timeout.
Outstanding official Carl Ozarzak carrying to the wrestler.
More thanks to the sponsors here on 810 Varsity Sports. Citizens National Bank is a family-owned independent financial services organization with a strong commitment to the communities which they serve. Locations with 24-hour ATMs in Leavenworth and Lansing, as well as online banking. Citizens is a proud sponsor of both Leavenworth and Lansing webcasts this season. Citizens National Bank, member FDIC. Also Danny Zeck Ford, 3 generations. You can check out their entire inventory online at 24/7 at dzford.com.
These guys continue to wrestle. In the stand somewhere, we do have the president of our referees appreciation committee, Will Coakley. Does a fabulous job recognizing our officials for the great job that they do.
That was a little throw after
Might have been a little bit too much going on there.
Yes, a wee bit.
Yep.
Nose is still bleeding.
Nose is still bleeding, and Vanderwerf was kind of taking a little walk over there, and they're going to have to get this one under control. You can tell you can tell right there on the screen, he's got a pretty good mess going on there. As Vanderwerf may have a little bit of blood on him that he needs to get taken care of.
Thinking our scoreboard might be off a hair, unless you guys can share with me where the 2 points for
I'm not sure.
There we go. I was wondering about that. They got
You're
the score.
always on top of it, Doug.
I try to be.
Well, you try to be. Do not leave lines open like that for me, okay? That'll just get me and you both in trouble. So 56.1 seconds left. Score tied at 1 between Hashem Amari of Oak Park and Littleton Vanderwerf from Lansing.
Now with blood time, you do get 5 minutes of blood time, but you get unlimited cleanup time. So once you stop the blood, you got as much time as they need to clean it up, and it looks like our trainers are out there cleaning up quite a bit of blood. Omari's really must have a gusher coming from his nose.
It's nice to see Vanderwerf step it up this year, his senior year. I remember him a couple years ago, and sub 500 wrestler, and but he just worked hard over his whole career, and it's just nice to see his senior year.
Takes a look over at the clock. 40 seconds left. Score tied at 1 in the second period.
Now, how did Vanderwerf end up at state last year, Eric?
Actually, I think he was just a state qualifier. I don't believe he placed. I could be wrong about that.
Just a qualifier now in his senior year, being in the finals of one of the toughest tournaments in the state. That's something to be said.
True.
Expect to see him back in Wichita this year, as we're going to have more blood time. Now, how far can they let this continue?
There's a limit of 5 minutes on a blood timeout. Once that 5 minutes is gone, then the match is over, and
that's where you'll see the referees up there. And once they stop the blood, then they can clean it up. So if you shove something up your nose, you've stopped the blood. Now you can clean it up. So
you can see Omari over there.
He's doing his best to try to get that sucker in
look,
there,
you didn't pack enough. You didn't put enough up there. Let me do it. Give me some duct tape. Red Green would be proud. You can stop anything with duct tape.
And well, needless to say, kind of funny, but what they do is they almost take like a broken tampon and shove it up your nose.
Whatever works.
Whatever it takes. Less than 10 seconds, a 1-1 tie. Vanderwerf just trying to get out of the second period without a takedown.
No, they are out.
They're out, so it's going to be a 1-1 tie heading into the third period.
Vanderwerf did a heck of a job getting to the out.
Vanderwerf chooses down. Oh, it's Omari's choice. He chooses neutral.
Interesting choice there.
Yeah.
He did get in on that leg on that shot, though. So,
tell you, these Oak Park wrestlers, they're relentless on their feet, love to attack. They're in great shape, time tested, so probably figure their conditioning is a little bit superior, but the Lansing program's really have been a great program for a long time. Vanderwerf obviously has worked hard to get to where he's at, and I don't think he's going to secede any points if he can help it. Vanderwerf gets nailed with the stalling. Omari leads now 2-1.
I didn't remember Vanderwerf getting a caution beforehand.
Vanderwerf got one for an escape, and then he got one for the technical.
Right, but I didn't think he got a caution on the stalling to begin with.
First caution. Have to have 2 cautions in order to get the stalling call for a point.
.53 seconds to go in the third period. Omari leading 2-1.
It doesn't appear as though.
Oh, that's his move. Omari uses that all the time.
Gets the rollover on Vanderwerf.
Omari might get the pin. 34 seconds left. Definitely has a 3-point near fall secured.
He's getting the 2 point. 2 point, yeah, 2 points near fall.
Crunching that cradle up, and if he crunches it up,
he's
going to get the ball.
Over. Vanderwerf kind of squirms out of it for a second. 15 seconds left.
He's got the 3 points secured. Lots of action in that third period.
It's going to be a 6-2 win for Hashim Omari.
And a 2-time Bobcat Classic champion.
I tell you, that's his move. Even as a freshman, hit that head in the hole. He stuffs that head and gets that front headlock, and that was a strong move there.
We're going to head over to the podium in the 182-pound weight class as Spencer Wilson from Lawrence Free State with a very, do we say entertaining?
Very entertaining.
Entertaining match over Joey Hutchins from Blue Springs. as Wilson comes up with a 10-4 win in the 182-pound weight class. As we get set for the 220-pound weight class, it's going to be Colton Bonner out of Baldwin going up against Austin Reyes out of Blue Springs, a state qualifier last year in Missouri for Reyes. Colton Bonner, also a state qualifier last year. As Spencer Wilson gets his championship bracket medal. How many guys actually still keep the little medallions, the little medals from the tournaments that one does over here, Doug? All the time.
All the time. They prize
Decorate the
those
wall
things.
with them.
Yeah, he has a shadow box actually. His mom made for him.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, next year is his for his high school.
You know what? I still have the original score sheet back in the day when you bowled and you had to keep score on, by hand. I still have the original score sheet back in '88 when I shot my first honor score of 299. I still have it.
Nice.
I don't have all the rings for my 300s, but by God, I have that 299 for my first one.
Yeah,
Is our 220 underway, and who's got the red?
It's going to be Austin Reyes out of Blue Springs. In the lighter colored, it's going to be Colton Bonner out of Baldwin with the B on the side. He's on the right.
Here's another example of a guy that as a freshman, he went 6-22, Colton Bonner, and here he is at the senior year in the finals of Bobcats. So
doing pretty good.
That's some hard work.
As Bonner gets the takedown on Reyes.
Nice and strong.
And he's almost has a pin.
He's got that arm.
Reyes got back on his stomach.
No, he's going to hold on to that.
And I'll tell you, Bonner, not a colorful career. As a freshman, Bonner was 6-22. Rough road coming up, but if you
have the fortitude and stick to it.
In the finals of this tournament as a senior, kind of almost reversed that 22-2 coming into this tournament. Picked up 2 pins to get into the finals, and then a 9-6 win over an Oak Park wrestler, Strickland, in the semis.
They're still going to be standing up, but nice throw by Bonner on Reyes.
His high school coach, Kid Harris, told me at the beginning of the season, he said, watch out for my 220 kid, and so I kind of put him on the radar. Now he's ranked 3rd in Class 4A this year. So
I tell you, and getting to the finals of a tournament like this, when you're looking at the rankings, Eric, what does that do for these wrestlers when you're trying to calibrate where they're sitting at? I know that this weekend there's also another tough tournament, Newton. The Newton tournament's this weekend as well, kind of.
Plus you have the Holt one coming up, next weekend I think it is?
Yeah, and I mean, there's probably, I would say, the 4 premier tournaments all together in Kansas right now would probably be the Bobcat Classic, Newton, Garden City, and Garden Edgerton are probably the 4 toughest tournaments in Kansas right now. And if those ranked wrestlers probably meet up with one another in one of those, it really makes it. The good thing about this is you've got guys, some of our guys beating nationally ranked guys, not just state ranked guys. And I know whenever I look at it and I think, hey, how would I rank these guys? Even seeing a guy like Bryce Shoemaker doing a great job picking up some good wins, but yet even those wins he might not win head to head against other guys. And we applaud Eric for his diligent work and the countless hours he puts into those rankings, because God knows I wouldn't want to do it.
Well, I can tell you after this weekend with Bobcat and Newton together, the rankings are due out on Tuesday, and I usually work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That was a heck of a move there.
Reyes trying to push Bonner.
But I will wear out some pencils by Tuesday, so ranking these kids.
And as you said before, I'm sure you get plenty of emails and suggestions.
Oh, by the way.
Did you know that we beat this kid at Newton?
That's right.
Just wanted to point out.
If you haven't seen the brackets already, let me tell you about them.
Yeah.
That's right.
1:10 to go in the second period with Colton Bonner leading 5-2 over Austin Reyes of Blue Springs.
Travis, let me ask you real quick. We start getting into a little bit different focus of wrestling technique when we get to this kind of level, this kind of weight class, don't we?
To a certain extent. You see a lot more banging and grinding up top, but whenever you start talking about some of the upper echelon kids, some of these upper weights can move just as good as lightweights. I mean, they attack low, they hit their setups, a lot more push pulling, they're banging and grinding, and you see a lot more pummeling with them. And if you look at these guys, they're not small guys, they're not going to be moving a lot of fast in-outs, but they're really going to be snapping, pushing, pulling, banging. But it looked just like that. Bonner goes ahead and tries to take a fake shot, but ends up right back in an over and under.
Looks like they like to get tied up and then make some type of throw move a lot of the time.
15 seconds.
Can, but you'll see a lot of front head snaps. Lots of front head snaps, lots of banging. I mean, these guys got a lot of force. When those big old heavy clubs come across your head, it doesn't feel good.
10 seconds left in the second period. Colton Bonner leading Austin Reyes 5-2 in the 220-pound weight class.
I'll tell you this: whenever one of these heavier guys doesn't have a practice partner, and myself weighing about 140 pounds.
Oh, you love that, don't you?
And they're like, "Hey, coach, can I go with you?" I'll tell you this: it's not fun, and I just try to grit my teeth and be as tough as I can. But I'll tell you, the next day, my neck hurts from them big old
You're feeling
logs clobbering my head.
Got a point awarded to Colton Bonner. Makes it a 6-2 lead in the third period. After this, we have one more match in the heavyweight. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on 810 Varsity Sports at the Baser Linwood Bobcat Classic. Ryan Ragland with Doug Karstens. Got Eric Johnston and Travis Pfeiffer.
That'd be Fippen.
Fippen, excuse me. I'm looking at the note.
He's going to rename you.
But you know what? You know what?
Michelle's brother.
As we could say, he could just get the Fiffen out of here.
Yeah, I could.
like you haven't heard that one before.
Thing is, now I think my son's been wrestling for quite a few years now, and now I'm just considered Cody's dad.
Exactly. Hey, I was the same way for a while. That was Ryan's son. Now I'm Jeffrey's dad. Hey, I'm okay with it. What comes around goes around.
Exactly. I guess it's all in how we define ourselves.
Yeah.
We're getting close to half a minute, 30 seconds left in the third period.
As Colton Bonner still leads 6-2, as Austin Reyes just has not been able to get anything going against Bonner.
And Bonner's hitting a stall call here. Carl Ozarzak, great official once again.
Yeah, but he could stall the rest of this match and still be okay. He's got 4 to give.
You know what?
Not that I would want to see that, but.
Hey, he's after a freshman year, he's going to take a Bobcat Classic championship home with him.
That's nice.
He can do whatever he wants to do.
That is a great story.
Even gets up to 2 there. 6-4 with 7 seconds left.
He's just going to stay in that base position.
You're not turning him today.
Colton Bonner's winning
not
this
gonna happen.
match.
Nice win for Colton Bonner as he defeats Austin Reyes in the 220-pound weight class. As we head for the heavyweight.
How's that win going to do for that third place ranking there?
I mean, that guy, he is moving up. I tell you, that weight class is up for grabs. It really is. Because the Santa Fe Trail guy
was number 1 ranked, and I think he was in for 5th or 6th place.
So there will be changes in that bracket. I mean, in that weight class in 4A.
On the podium on the 195-pound weight class, it's going to be Ashima Mari getting the championship bracket over Littleton Vanderwerf with a 6-2 win. And coming up in the heavyweight class, it's going to be Caleb King out of Piper going up against Joel Morales out of Mountain Ridge.
King's come a ways too. At Eudora, I think he either placed 4th or 5th, maybe, possibly 4th. But he's a big, strong kid from Piper.
We got Morales from Mountain Range, Colorado.
Morales took second at Top of the Rockies tournament.
23-10. Most of his losses this last year as a freshman were to Medbury, who, as a true freshman, took seventh place at the Midlands, which is one of the toughest college tournaments in the nation, and was a signee with Wisconsin. So not a glorious freshman year, but against one of the top heavyweights in the nation at that time. And now 23-2 as a sophomore, as a heavyweight, going against King from Piper, a senior. He's 18-3 going into this tournament.
Before we forget, want to say big thanks to Destin Carnes on the camera, doing a nice job keeping everything zoomed in and out.
That would be Karsten's.
Carsten's, God, dang it. You screwed up on Dad over here.
I'll write that down for you next time.
I bet you will.
And I'm Johnson, last name Johnson.
Yeah, I did say Johnston, didn't I? Too many variables. You know what?
Ooh,
Nice.
nice pick up and throw down.
Nice job by Morales.
Oh, we're moving. We got big boys moving here.
Yeah, they do.
Eric, I'll just call you Big Johnson.
That'll work.
How about Big J? Or we could go just say EJ. Does that work too?
It's been done.
It's been done.
Yeah.
This match has gotten pretty exciting. We got
0-0. Nice little pickup and slam by Morales, but defense by King, and kind of rolled through there, almost caught Morales on his back.
That was nice. A heavyweight scramble. You don't see too many.
That's where I say that, you know, once you get to this level, these guys can bang just as easy and shoot and everything else just as well as the lightweights, just a little bit different. And like I said, their clubs just hurt a little bit more.
Exactly. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Still no score here in the heavyweight division.
And also King's got a pretty big fan section here as well, being from Piper, which is right up the road as well.
It's like they're both trying to do a hip toss.
I'd beg to say that Morales probably doesn't have a huge fan base here, being that he's from Colorado. That not many fans travel quite that far, but
That's got to be a heck of a drive right there.
hey,
There's quite a bit of purple in the stands and on the floor. I'm not sure if they're for associated with his school or not.
I would think so. 14 seconds left in the first period. Still no score.
here's a shot by Morales.
So a 0-0 tie at the end of the first period.
2 periods left till the conclusion of the 2012 Bobcat Classic,
It's been another good one.
sponsored by Baser Linwood High School
I wonder whose alma
and
mater
our
that is.
Sergeant at Arms Joe Keeler.
Usually when the big boy wants up, he gets up.
King's really got to get his head off the mat, base back up, and try and score. Wants to stay off that hip.
1:30 to go.
There he goes.
1:30 to go in the
Gets that
first
turn in.
period.
Those hips are pretty heavy.
They should give him an escape
There we
now.
go. He gets the
There
escape.
he goes.
Coach Davies encouraging his wrestler to keep going.
Caleb King just trying to catch a little bit of breath. He didn't get too excited and didn't look like he was too much in a hurry to get back into the circle.
It's another one of those weight classes that probably changed things up a little bit in Eric's rankings. King came in ranked 4th, where Brock Bennett from Pittsburgh, as a heavyweight, was ranked 2nd, and ended up placing 6th in the tournament.
.45 seconds to go in the second period with King still leading 1-0.
I think we're gonna have to put some Monster energy drink and Eric's espresso for the next couple days since those rankings are due out on Tuesday.
Now what does that do when you're at one tournament? And I mean, you can't be at two tournaments at the same time. How do you decide exactly where it goes?
You just spend time on the brackets, just studying them.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice site in Kansas where all the brackets are posted, and so that helps. And last weekend,
nice takedown by King.
I try to travel as much as I can.
Go ahead and give the website real quick if anyone wants to take a look at it.
Yeah, it's www.usaks.com.
USAWKS.com.
Gotcha.
So USAWrestlingKS.com.
So a 3-0 lead for Caleb King as we head into the third period.
King looks like he's been focusing more on the throws where Morales has been going for the leg sweeps.
That's surprising. I kind of thought the Colorado guy would have a little bit of an edge, but it's a heck of a match for King.
I'll tell you, over the past couple years, King has really started wrestling very well. You know, he keeps getting better and better every year. Saw him in the room during the summer a little bit, working out. I know he's big into football as well, but still doing a little bit of wrestling too. And you can start seeing where some of that stuff, a little bit extra after the season, a little bit summer wrestling actually pays off and continues to make you a better and better wrestler.
Minute and a half to go in the third period. Caleb King leading 3-0 over Joel Morales.
Morales is going to get an escape point here.
3-1. I would look for Morales to continue to try and shoot, bang, push, and pull the score. King's got to watch out, though. He doesn't want to stall out and get a stalling call on him. But those hips, you look at them, they are pretty darn heavy.
He's got that leg sucked in. He's going to do anything with it.
And if he gets flat, I'm thinking King might get another 2 from here, being defensive.
Boy, Caleb King is he's trying to get every bit of air he can get in those big lungs with 49 seconds left. Some people say 2 minutes isn't long. Get down on the mat and start wrestling around 3 times over, and we'll see how long it is.
I actually look for King to maybe do a throw and to throw him off. Oh, he got another 2 for a takedown. I'll be darned.
So a 5-1 lead, 26 seconds left.
26 seconds left. Caleb King looks like he's probably going to be our
Bobcat
Classic champion. Once again, though, we can never count it out too soon.
That's true.
Barring a pin.
Morales going for the reversal.
And he's not even giving up the reversal. He's keeping hold of that leg.
Yep.
4 seconds left.
That's a great tournament by him, boy.
Great
nice
tournament
job
for Caleb King and a win.
Caleb King comes up with a 5-1 win over George Morales. As both Morales and King are just gassed. Both of them put every bit of effort into it that they had.
I know this tournament is tough to gauge an outstanding wrestler. I don't know who's going to get it. I know I've got my choice in for my vote, and that'd be a guy that's got 3 Bobcat Classic championships, 1 second place, and pulled off a great finals match that was filled with action in the last win, and that'd be Bo Purcell, who's also a 3-time state champ going for 4. He had a great tournament, and I'll tell you, that was probably the most exciting finals match I saw here tonight. But
well, there was one that matches that, but I promised I wouldn't bring that up anymore. So you're welcome, Eric. I won't say anything.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Don't tell anybody. I won't.
At the podium, taking a look at the 220-pound weight class. Colton Bonner out of Baldwin defeated Austin Reyes out of Blue Springs by a score of 6-4. And then as they head to the heavyweight, which they will get to here in a little bit as the match just got done, Caleb King with a nice win over Joel Morales, 5-1. The 11th annual Baser Linwood Bobcat Classic is in the book. Another great tournament. Nice job by Joe Keeler, the athletic director, all the staff here at Baser Linwood.
It's been a very enjoyable evening.
It's
tonight.
been fun.
We've had a
Great
good time coming up here.
Great help with Eric Johnson and Travis.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to have them.
Fippen and Doug Carson's with us, and also Dustin Carson's with the work on the camera as we have been broadcasting on the 810 Varsity Broadcast website. I want to say huge thanks to all the sponsors. As we have Christian Brothers Roofing, A&B CarStar, Basque Tanning, Citizens National Bank, Danny Zeck Ford, Lisa Reese, CCA, Leavenworth Times, Young Science Company, and Agency West. Also, big thanks for Chad Rader for giving me a call to come up here and broadcast the championship round of the Bobcat Classic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, a huge thanks to Eric Johnson, Travis Biffin, Doug Carsons, and Dustin Carsons. Ryan Ragland saying thanks for joining us as we will have more action. Check back on 810 Varsity Sports for the best in local high school action.